What's up? We are so back. We are so back, ladies and gentlemen. We are rocking with the 1K sub special stream, ranking every single anime that I've ever seen, which is a lot. Also gonna go over a lot of other stuff because it's been a crazy week, but we are back. What's poppin', gamers? How's everybody doing? Welcome to chat. I see everyone in there. Silver Comet, TC Indiana, Maximum Effort Max, Zeke Shine, Golden Era, and other people that I probably missed. But welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. It's gonna be hype. It's also gonna be a long stream because there's a lot of anime to go through. But that's beside the point. Ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody in chat doing tonight? We doing all right? We hanging in there? Everything's working this week, which is a blessing in and of itself. Because everything was not working last week. Don't worry. I'll turn the lights off because I know that's a lot. Okay. Now that we're back to one stationary color. Okay. I just felt like I needed to do something crazy. Because it's, 1K sub special. So, that being said, how's my day going? Thank you for asking, Silver Comet. It's going pretty good, actually. Recorded a podcast today. And then just kind of chilled until stream time. So let me get some housekeeping stuff out of the way before we jump into the tier list. One, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. Like, holy moly. I legitimately did not think the channel was going to get this big this fast. And it was that My Hero, headcanons are ruining My Hero video that kind of exploded and took everything and made it go crazy. Also, before I continue, we're going to switch up our stream music real quick. What are we feeling tonight? I'm thinking some funky, upbeat, chill Nintendo. Yeah, there we go. Okay. How does the music sound? Music audio levels sound good? Let me know. But yeah, that headcanon video blew up, is still climbing, going crazy. So I'll take that. Before I get to anything else, because I see it on the little thing there. Thank you, Maximum Effort Max, for upgrading your membership to Plus Ultra Champion. That's crazy. That's another thing I'm going to touch on here in a minute. But we got to kind of go in. We got to have some semblance of order here. So that video blew up. It got me over the membership goal for the YouTube partner program, like the watch time hours. And I was really hoping and praying that, maybe it would just keep going and carry me the other 1,000 to get to watch time ads, because I was really worried how I was going to bridge that gap. And then it did, and it's still going. So that video has just been such a blessing to the channel, because it was the one big hit. And that was something I'd been praying about a lot, was God, I just need one good video to get me through the roof. And that's exactly what happened. So that's been such a huge blessing, brought in a lot of new people. A video, honestly, that I didn't think was going to do that good, because I was it'll do maybe 1, 2, 3K, maybe. I never put 46,000 as an estimation. So that's crazy. Got me over. Had a lot of drama last week with internet not working for the stream, and I felt so bad because there were so many people here excited for the stream, and I was excited to talk to everyone, and we had just hit 1,000 subs, and then all the stuff with my internet and all the tech issues, so I delayed it to this week. It was, as far as I'm aware, it was related to weather stuff, which, by the way, thoughts and prayers go out to everyone in North Carolina, because I'm in the U.S., in case you didn't know that. Everyone in North Carolina, South Carolina, East Tennessee, it's just a terrible situation that's happening there, and it's something, this is not related to the stream at all. That whole situation is something that has just made me so much more thankful and grateful for what I have, because I'm sure there are plenty of content creators there who lost everything, and I am still blessed enough to have all my stuff and a place to do it and time to stream. So that whole thing has just made me so much more grateful for what I have. But yes, praying for all those because it is just a tragic situation that's going on out there. So there's a lot of also issues with trying to get into the partner program. It was like a bunch of back end stuff, technical, like legal stuff that I was running into. And then that all got fixed this week. Memberships went up yesterday. We're at 7 members. Let me look. I feel like that number should be correct. So let me see. I need to go here. It is kind of hard to check and see how many members you have. Currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 members, which honestly is so much more than I was expecting, because I thought, oh, memberships are just going to be this thing that happen every now and then, and like maybe 1 or 2 people will do it. But to have 7 members in the first day is incredible. And all of the money from memberships and ad revenue goes right back into the channel. Honestly, most of it is just going to go back to paying my editor. And I'm trying to get the channel to a place where even just the memberships alone can essentially fully fund a month's worth of videos, which if I put out about 4 to 5 videos a month, it's $40-50. And we're already like halfway to that. So it's just been so incredible. And I haven't even put out like an actual video. I just did a community tab post. So I'm going to put a video out explaining a little bit more about that probably sometime this weekend. It'll be short, like minute or two, just saying, hey, memberships are open. Here's what I'm using the money for. Here's the tiers. Here's what you get. Just kind of having a comprehensive breakdown of that. So that's just been incredible. And I cannot thank you guys enough, because if you would have told me 6 months ago when I started this whole like anime YouTuber thing that this is where I'd be at 6 months later, I would have been like, okay. I mean, I could kind of see it. But to have the support and the following that I do, and the people who are just so passionate about my content, and so many people who share it on Twitter without me even having to ask, like they just love the content and they're sharing it. And I've had so many people reach out and be like, hey, your videos help me when I have a rough day, or like it's been a stressful day, just turn on a video, or I'm always excited on Wednesdays when you drop new videos. Like that is just such a blessing and such an encouragement, and I cannot thank you guys enough. So all that out of the way, holy moly, do we have a lot of anime. It kind of worked out that the stream got delayed, because not only was I able to add 6 more anime to the tier list, I was able to open up memberships. So, like, having the fan stuff. I'm also working on, I didn't get to finish it before stream today, but an alert box. So, like, the little alert will pop up here in the corner here. I need to do a little more experimenting with that. But that's not what you're here for. What you're here for is for me to rank all of the anime that I've seen. I think the final count is 166. This is going to be the most anime I've ever ranked in a stream ever. So, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So, we're here. You'll notice chat's not on screen anymore. Mainly because I'm going to start cutting out the videos and I can't have chat on screen. Oh, I spilled water already. Not off to a great start there. Okay. So, rules are pretty bog standard, as they have been for most of the tier lists I've done. We got double S, S, A, B, C, D, F, Shadow Realm. Double S is going to be replacing Anime of All Time for this stream specifically, just because I don't feel like doing Anime of All Time, because it's going to be my hero, because it's like my objective list. So we're doing double S, and I'm going to limit how many get in double S. But as you can see here, we got a lot. We got a lot in here. We got a lot to go through. I promise hot takes will abound. So let's just get started, and we'll see where it goes tonight. So buckle up. It's going to be a long one, but it's going to be a good one. So, first up, kicking it off, is My Dress Up Darling. Honestly, kind of a B tier anime. I'm not going to lie. It was good. It was good. but it wasn't that good. Like, it was all right. It was all right. I tried to read the manga, and it took forever for anything to happen. So, it is what it is. Next up, Love is War. Easy. This is hard. Do I want to go double S already? Like, I feel like a second anime is too soon for a double S. But Love is War is just that good. So, I'm gonna say double S. I have to put it there. Love is War is peak, bro. Listen. Love is War is peak. Okay? Okay? Love is War is peak. B tier for Love is War? What? That's insane. That's crazy. I'm also, aside from a couple exceptions that I've made going down, I'm gonna try to not spend like 5 minutes talking about one anime. Like, I'm gonna try to keep it moving, otherwise we're gonna be here for like 4 hours. And I don't want to be here for 4 hours. So, that's what we're doing. Okay. So I'll put Love is War in double S. I'm okay with that. It is. But when I think about it, I remember other anime as well. Yeah, see. That's also what I have to keep in mind is, like, I'm actually going to try to scale this tier list and, like, shift them around in the tier instead of just putting them in one after the other. So that's the plan. All right. Danger's in My Heart. I have not finished Season 2. I need to finish Season 2. I think, realistically speaking, Danger's in My Heart is high B. I just can't. I can't quite justify putting it in A yet. I can't. I need to finish Season 2. I can't quite justify putting it in A, though, as much as I love it. Next up is Horimiya. Don't worry, guys. We're running like a romance anime gauntlet. Yo! John Bass with the $10 super chat? What? What? That's crazy. That's insane. What's up, Nick? Sorry I'm late. Family got home from a trip today, so I was spending time with them. Dude. What? What? You didn't have to come on with the $10. I mean, I appreciate it so much. That's like one whole video. Paid for. Done. Wow. That's so cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. First super chat ever from John Bass. I'll remember that. I'll remember it in here. I'll remember it in here. Thank you. Also, totally cool that you're late. Like, we're going to be here for a while, so it's okay. Yes, first ever super chat. I have not. So I've done a couple YouTube channels that have been monetized, and I feel so bad because I've jumped from channel to channel so many times. And like my one channel that got monetized, I never turned on memberships or super chats because I didn't know how any of it worked, and honestly, I didn't feel like I had the community to do it. So I was running purely off ad rev, and then the other channel I got up to monetization, we quit doing like right after it got monetized. So this is like all new territory for me, doing memberships, super chats, the whole shebang. So I do appreciate that. First ever super chat I've ever gotten. That's insane. So that being said, wow, that kind of blew me away actually. That's kind of crazy. Oh, what was I saying? I was saying something about anime, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Also, hi, Red Moon, Blood Moon. I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. So yeah, we are. Oh, that's what I was saying. We're running like the romance anime gauntlet here because I tried to shuffle these images to the best of my ability. I promise. But yeah, I'm not perfect. Okay. All right. Horimiya gets. See, the invention of double S has made me rethink A tier, right? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means that B is now mid because it's in the middle, which makes me wonder. And John back with the membership too. What? Dude, this is crazy. Thank you for joining the State Alchemist tier. Oh, I didn't even talk about the tiers. Tiers are pretty self-explanatory. Why did I forget the tiers on my own channel? That's kind of crazy, actually. So we got Mugen Train Rider. I'll just break this down real quick. We got Mugen Train Rider at $3, which gives you member shoutouts and members only live chat. So if for any reason I lock down the chat to members only, you can still chat. Very basic stuff. It's very like general support, like thank you. The fact that anyone would donate any kind of money in this economy to me is like, I'm just so grateful for that, because it's like, I get it. Things are expensive, and the fact that you would like spend money to support me that isn't like YouTube ad revenue just hits different, and it means so much that you would spend that. So Mugen Train Rider is pretty like standard general support. State Alchemist gets you early access to new videos. So if a video is going on Wednesday, you will get access to that video on Monday. So 2 whole days early. That's 3. 2 whole days. And then the max tier, or I'm sorry, State Alchemist is $5. And then the last one, which is $10, is Plus Ultra Champion, because, you know, we got to get the My Hero in there. And Plus Ultra Champion gives you members-only live streams, which I'm not entirely sure how that's going to look yet. And then member-only videos. I have a video series that I'm going to do that is going to be exclusive to members. The first episode will be available to everyone. And then after that, it will be members exclusive. So that will be coming up soon. So now that I have at least one Plus Ultra Champion, I have to remember to do that. God has blessed me with a good paycheck, so I'm happy to pay it forward to a fellow brother in Christ. Well, thank you, John. That means a lot. That actually means a lot. So yeah, that's how memberships work. It's, I mean, again, if you have it in the ability, if it is within your ability to do that, I greatly appreciate it. If not, there's still going to be plenty of content that you'll have access to. Like, I'm not going to just make everything members exclusive. There will still be plenty of content for you. And honestly, just watching videos all the way through is enough. And I appreciate that in and of itself. So, hi, James. Thanks for watching this stream with your dad. That's pretty sick. Your dad's pretty cool. So, as I was saying before, John completely came in and flipped the stream upside down. All right, Max, you can hold me to that series. I got to do it now. So the first one is done and scripted. I have to actually like keep going now. So, all right, I'm gonna leave Horimiya an A, simply because it's not a complete anime without the missing pieces, and that's gonna dock at some points. Bunny Girl Senpai, easy S. Easy S. Not even a competition. One of the greatest romance anime out there. One of the greatest anime couples of all time. Okay? Greatest anime couple. Don't even at me, bro. It's great. Phenomenal show. I'm very excited that, 1, they're giving it a dub, finally, and 2, they're going into the college anime arc, or the college arc in the anime, which means we're finally getting more Bunny Girl Senpai after however long it's been since that series came out. So, very excited about that. Now, Fruits Basket is also... I'm gonna put it in S tier. Under Bunny Girl Senpai, but it's in S tier. Fruits Basket is incredibly awesome, and if you haven't watched it yet, oh my goodness, it's only 3 seasons. The second season is like a half season, and it's a very easy binge, very fun. I love the characters. The main couple in that, I don't want to spoil it because it's kind of like a figure out who it is. Main couple in that is incredible. Toru Honda, dude. Goated protagonist, dude. She is amazing. And I love Toru. She's great. 5 centimeters per second. That is not the first Makoto Shinkai film. That is the compilation of short films, which I'm gonna put in C because I didn't really care for it. It's not Shinkai's best work. By a long shot, it's not his best work. So we're gonna have to put that in C tier. It's not great. It's not my favorite. I do want to go back and rewatch. I think I'm going to rewatch all of the Shinkai movies because I have all of them except for Garden of Words on Blu-ray or on DVD because one of them's on DVD. I have all of them, and I want to go through and rewatch them all. So next up, Castle in the Sky. First Studio Ghibli film on here. I got to give Castle in the Sky a pretty solid... I'll give it a solid high C. I think it's good. I enjoyed it. I have it on Blu-ray. I enjoyed it enough to buy it on Blu-ray. I like it because you can see a lot of where they drew inspiration for Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Like, those two Zelda games have a lot of Ghibli influences, and I'm sure that'll come back up, whenever we get to Princess Mononoke. It's on there somewhere. So... that Castle in the Sky is pretty good. I don't have much to say about it. Next up is The Place Promised in Our Early Days, another Shinkai film. I gotta give this one D tier. It's not good. It's not great. Like, Shinkai had quite a few misses before he got to, like, Garden of Words, Your Name, Weathering With You, Suzume. Like, from there on out, then he started hitting banger after banger, and he got it on lot. But those first couple were rough and were hard. So, I mean, I get it. You got to start somewhere, but that was rough. So, D tier. Next up, Spy Family Code White. This is the movie specifically, not the whole series. The whole series is on here. Oh, yeah, by the way, it's probably late to mention, movies and shows are on here. I combined the list just like I did with the romance anime one. Spy Family Code White, I gotta say, it gets pretty solid A tier. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I had a good laugh. I want to watch it again now that it's on Crunchyroll. It's a pretty solid anime, I'm not gonna lie. For like a non-canon filler movie, it's incredibly solid. And I understand what they're doing, and I think it was good. Oh boy. The Boy and the Heron. Here we go. All right. Call me crazy. Boy and the Heron is C tier. I did not care for it at all. And I went and saw it in theaters. I did not care for it. Insert the Family Guy meme here. I did not care for The Godfather. I did not care for The Boy and the Heron. I don't know what it was. I mean, visually, gorgeous. Looks great. Animation, stunning. Voice acting, incredible. But for me personally, the story, not great. So, yeah, no, I gotta, I can't do that. I don't play like that. I'm sorry. I'm very hit or miss with Studio Ghibli movies, and this will be seen as we go on. But it is what it is. So I'm going to move on. Demon Slayer to the Hashira training arc compilation movie, I'm gonna put in D, just because it's I cannot put these compilation films very high, because they're just that. They're compilation films. They're not like supposed to be this peak cinema and peak cinematic experience. It's literally just, hey, you want to go see the best episode from season 3 in the theater again? Great. Go see the best episode of season 3 in the theater again. And then you get a little sneak peek of season 4. That's it. That's about all they offer. They have no rewatch value after the anime starts airing and goes past what they showed. Like, that's why these movies are not available anywhere after being in the theater. It's literally just comp film, throw it out, get a little extra cash, and keep working on the main anime. It cannot take them very long to put. I swear, with those movies, they just take the raw, like the finished episode file, drop it in a timeline sequentially, hit export, and call it a day. Like, it cannot take them more than 10 minutes to put these films together. So I cannot put them any higher than D. Okay. Also, what's up, Jam? You are a bit late, but that's okay. That's okay. We're not even, like, you can see what I've done so far compared to everything we have to go through. You're fine. You're okay. So, yeah. Demon Slayer to the Hashira training in D. First episode of Hashira training wasn't even, like, it was good. But it cannot carry that any higher than D. All right. Going on another romance anime gauntlet here. Shikimori is not just a cutie. Actually, better than Horimiya. High A tier. Golden's home from work. Let's go. Hope your work went okay. Work can be hard sometimes. But now that means you can divert your full attention to the stream. So, I'm just saying. So, yeah, Shikimori's not just a cutie. High A tier, dude. One of the better romance anime I've seen, simply because it focuses on building their relationship instead of the, like, back and forth, will they, won't they. And I said that in the YouTube short that I put out that was supposed to recommend it, and then it didn't get any views because YouTube decided not to push it. That's besides the point. Very good anime. Great, solid Shikimori and Izumi. Great couple. Great couple. Now, the side characters, also phenomenal. Also great. I feel like the side characters were worked into the anime very well and didn't feel like the typical, like, oh, the MC has no character. The MC has no friends, so we're gonna, like, give him a friend. But he has, like, multiple friends, and even I've read the manga, and that continues to build out. So I love that series so much. I wish it got another season of the anime, just because the series is so good. But no, we're gonna get Rent-a-Girlfriend season 72. Komi can't communicate. Honestly, B tier. Because, in my opinion, it is just Dangers in My Heart, but slightly worse. Komi Can't Communicate prides itself on having an eccentric cast of characters, but I think that eccentric cast of characters, while it is great to have the variety, is kind of hard to keep up with, which is why I didn't like the manga, because at least in the anime, the designs stand out, but in the manga, I kept getting confused on who was who. And I don't know. I like the concept, but I feel like the romance is a little too slow burn. Like, it's a slow burn. Like, I don't think anything happens significantly relationship-wise until, like, volume 28. That's, like, the entire run of Demon Slayer and then some. That's a long time before you get to any substantial development. I'm just saying. That's a lot. So, B tier, because I thought it was good. It was funny. I enjoyed it. But that's all I've got there. Romantic Killer. I'm also gonna put it high A or high B. It's good. Netflix series. If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. Very good. It's one of the better harem anime because it doesn't like try to do like the 100 girlfriends where it's like, oh, he's got to date them all, and I didn't care for that. But Romantic Killer is like she's gonna have to choose one, and we're kind of running. It's kind of like a dating sim where you have multiple outcomes, and it's just dependent on the player to pick one. So it also pokes fun at a lot of the tropes and does a lot with that. So that's really fun. So I enjoyed that. Romantic Killer is great. It's on Netflix. You should check it out. I wish it got another season, but I guess not. The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. Gonna be high A, or I guess middle of A now. Another phenomenal. Oh my goodness, dude. So good. I have a YouTube short. I don't know if it's out yet. I don't think it is. Going out about that one. I love Angel Next Door. I'm glad it's getting a season 2 because it's a phenomenal show. Very wholesome, like no fan service, just very wholesome, down to earth, great relationship progression. I think the first season takes place over a year, but it doesn't feel like that pacing was rushed. It feels like it was very naturally paced throughout that 12 episodes to go over a year. So, I mean, a year, like, in universe, not, like, it took a year for it all to come out. So, yeah, that's my piece on that. I think it's great. You should watch it if you haven't. All right, My Hero Academia, the movie World Heroes Mission. I gotta be so honest and candid with this one. I am a big My Hero fan. Don't get me wrong. But I think I gotta go low B. There we go. I gotta go low B. High B. Because it's good. But I think World Heroes Mission is very strongly carried by that final fight and was not as consistently there as the other 2 movies and maybe the other 3. I don't know. I haven't seen Your Next. That's next week. So, yeah, it's a good movie, but for me personally, I felt like the 3rd act and that final fight carried a lot of it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because otherwise I'll spend way too much time on that. So, More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. All right, another romance anime. Okay. I don't know, man. This one was good, but it was really fan servicey, and I think I'm gonna put it above Dress Up Darling, just because it was very fan servicey. Like I like the plot, and I think the relationship development between the 2 main characters is really good, and I was really invested in that. And I would have read the manga if there was an official English release, but there's not. There's not even like any official English translation, like online or anything. It's all fan translations. So I would have put it higher if it didn't have as much fan service. And I think that's a problem, is not having that. So I'll put it there. All right, Mission Yozakura Family. Is this the first one from this year? Yeah, I think it is. Mission Yozakura Family with a little asterisk. I've only seen the first 16 episodes, which is more than half of the first season, so I felt like it was enough to put it on the tier list. I'm gonna give Yozakura Family pretty solid A tier. I love Yozakura Family. The only reason I haven't caught up to it is because it's on Hulu, and I hate watching anime on Hulu. Watching anime on Hulu is like up there in the top 10 most painful things that you can ever do in your life, because Hulu just does not. They separate the dub and the sub instead of having it just be a little toggle setting like most of the other streaming services, which Netflix lets you do, Crunchyroll lets you do, High Dive lets you do. It just watching anime on Hulu is a pain. It's also not my Hulu, so I feel like I have to sign in every time I want to go watch something. That's unrelated. But I don't know. Yozakura Family is worth it to an extent where I like let a bunch of episodes come out and then I binge through all of them in one night, and then I let a bunch of episodes come out and I binge all of them in one night. So it's kind of like that. And at this point, I probably could wait. I'm so far behind. So it's what happened to my chat? OBS, where's my chat? I need to see that. That's kind of important. Hold on, team. I gotta pull the chat back out. I gotta force refresh it real quick. No. It's not. The chat on the stream didn't disappear. It was just on my OBS. There we go. I don't know why it did that. Anyway. So yeah, aside from that, Yozakura Family is really great. I like the concept of the only way for him to not get killed by her brother is for them to get married. Because the family members can't kill each other. And it's the same like, oh, we're married and we're spies and assassins and all this stuff and we're married. And I know the manga goes great places and I want to pick it up and read it. I just need to finish the first season. So, yeah, really good. You should check it out. I feel like Yozakura Family would have been a much, much bigger anime this year if it wasn't on Hulu. Because this is the problem. Disney and Hulu, which I consider them the same because they're both owned by Disney. Disney buys up all the licenses for these anime, and then they never promote them at all. They did it with Bleach. They did it with Summertime Rendering. They did it with Heavenly Delusion. They did it with Sandland, and they've now done it with Yozakura Family. They buy all the exclusive rights so that people come watch on their service, but then they don't promote it at all. Like, even Netflix has their own dedicated anime Twitter account, so at the very least, you can sign up for, if you're on Twitter, you can follow the Netflix anime Twitter account, and that's just for, hey, we got new episodes of Dawn to Dawn, we got new episodes of Blue Box, like, we're putting all these anime out there. And Disney doesn't do that with Hulu. They have all these anime on Hulu and Disney Plus, and they don't promote any of them. So the amount of people I've seen who didn't know Yozakura Family was airing and didn't know that it was a thing were like, oh, this show's really cool. I would watch that if it was on Crunchyroll. Or if it was like on Hulu and Crunchyroll. You know, like kind of do the both instead of just having it on one. So it's frustrating because it's a really good show, and a lot of people have been talking about how shonen is like dying because My Hero the manga is over, the Jujutsu Kaisen manga is over, which means those anime are gonna start coming to an end. And they're like, well, we're out of good shonen. And I'm like, dude, Yozakura Family is right there. Like, but it's on a service that nobody goes to Hulu to watch anime. So it's just frustrating because it's a really great show that has been stuck on that. That being said, anyway, I digress. I'll probably make a video about that at some point because it's frustrating. I do want to do a Yozakura Family video before the end of the year. I need to finish watching season 1 first, though, so that I can do a whole video. Now, next up, Horimiya the Missing Pieces. Low C, because it's the problem with Horimiya is that these two projects are incomplete without the other. Horimiya not so much because they adapted it that way, and yeah, it's a little confusing, but as a project, it fully makes sense. Horimiya the Missing Pieces, however, keeps jumping around on what it wants to do and what parts, because it literally is the missing pieces. So they're just adapting whatever they didn't adapt. So the first half of one episode could be chapter 3, and the other half could be chapter 49. So it's just really frustrating, because you can't really watch the missing pieces out of context, because there's nothing to watch. So I don't know. It's dumb and stupid, and I just like Zoink Scoobs. I don't know. So, Yuzakura Family is great. We're on part 2 in the manga already. Lots of twists and a lot of double twists. Ooh. I definitely want to pick it up when the anime ends. All right. Is that Evangelion? Is that the 4th one, I think? The 4th movie? F tier. I don't like Evangelion. And I'll go into it a lot more whenever we get to Evangelion proper. It's on here somewhere. Oh, yeah, it's all the way down here. I'll go on my Evangelion tirade when we get deeper. I'm not a big fan of Evangelion. Oh, here's the 3rd movie. We're gonna put that. What happened in the 3rd movie? The one where the guy dies? I think so. I'm gonna put it in D. It's fine. Alright, Suzume. I think Suzume gets a high A. I really enjoyed that. Again, once Shinkai locked in after Garden of Words, dude, he was locked in. Banger after banger. Suzume, another banger. I need to watch it again because it's been a hot minute since I've seen it. But I do remember watching it, and I thought, wow, this anime is phenomenal. And it is. So, I have the 4K like collector's edition back there because I pre-ordered it. Dude, I used to check Amazon like once a week and see if the Blu-ray disc of Suzume was up yet. And finally I got an email from Crunchyroll that they were opening pre-orders, and I like right there pre-ordered it on the spot, dude. I was so excited. So I want to go back and watch it here in the near future. So it was good. I really enjoyed it. Another Shinkai banger. Never understood Evangelion either. Son has father issues, so what's so psychologically amazing about that? Nothing, actually. That. I'm gonna save it. I have a lot to say about Evangelion. So much so that multiple people have asked me to make a video on Evangelion talking about my thoughts, and I'm going to, but some of it will come out in this live stream. Here's one I saw this week, and by this week I mean 2 days ago, is Mobile Suit Gundam 1, the first ever Gundam movie. I'm gonna give it a pretty solid C. It was all right. It's a long movie, and the pacing's not great. But it was pretty all right. Like I'll give it a pass. It was all right. Which 7 Deadly movie is this? I need to zoom in for a moment here so I can see. I think that's the first one. Maybe? No, this is the first one. This is the second one. Okay. Okay. Actually, here's what I'm gonna do. Chat, let me know. Do you like the stream like this, where you can see the whole tier list, or do you like it more like this, where it's zoomed in so you can actually see the thing? I know it blocks off some of the blocks, but let me know. I personally prefer it the other way. Are we Bro, how'd these 3 end up next to each other again? No. I'm separating you. You kids are getting separated. We're not doing that. We're not doing the top 3. My top 3 anime are next to each other. I can't run the gauntlet like that. All right, second 7 Deadly Sins sequel movie. C. It was okay. It's the best of the 7 Deadly Sins stuff. But that's saying a lot. Okay? No. Violet Evergarden, that's the Memories of an Automail Doll movie. And I'm going to put it in C. It was alright. I don't remember too terribly much about it. So, I don't know. It's alright. the other Demon Slayer comp movie, I'll put it higher than the other one because I think this one had a stronger run. Actually, no, I take that back. This one had a better compilation of episodes because it was season 3, episode 11, and then season 4, episode 1. And I feel like those two back to back was better than Entertainment final episode and first episode of Swordsmith Village. Because the first episode of Swordsmith Village is good, but not great. Whereas the other two had like 2 really good episodes back to back. So I'll put it there. Okay, we're about to run the Romance Gauntlet again. Okay, no. I gotta break these up. We can't run the Romance Gauntlet every like 3 days. We're gonna break you guys up. We're gonna break some of you up. All right. Okay. Now that we fix that. The inexperienced you and the... Oh, wait. Can I do this? I can. So if I don't know what it is, I can just open it in a different tab. Okay. The experienced you and the inexperienced me. Bro, why is my Firefox lagging, dog? Probably because I've had this tab open for like 2 weeks. And I probably should have refreshed it today. I just didn't want to upload all the images again. Is that so wrong? Is that so wrong? This one, I gotta give it a solid... I'm gonna give it B. Actually, no, I'm gonna give it better than More Than a Married Couple. So the premise of this one, for those who don't know, is there's this girl, there's this really cute girl at this guy's school. The MC is like, oh my gosh, I'm so in love with her. And then his friends dare him to ask her out. And he's like, oh, okay, fine. So he asks her out, and she's like, oh, okay, sure. She's like, you want to go back to my place? And they go back to her place. This is like right after he asks her out, by the way, same day. And when they get there, she starts like taking her clothes off, and he's like, wait, whoa, let's calm down here. She's like, oh, I just thought this is what we were supposed to do. Like, that's why you asked me out. And he was like, no. I'm more of a personality kind of guy. And he's like, before we do that, let's like actually date and go on dates and get to know each other. And like, cause this is not just a thing you do with people randomly. And she was like, wow, a guy's never treated me like this before. That's interesting. And then the whole premise of the anime is they're going on dates, building their relationship. There's a lot of drama in the sense of he has trust issues because he's like, oh, well, this girl's like a 10 out of 10 and I'm like a 2 out of 10. And like, if she goes for someone else that's much hotter than me, like I get it. And it's really good. There's a lot of fan service, and that's a problem. Okay, maybe not a lot. It's not as bad as I make it sound. There is fan service, but the thing that made me put it that high is the fact that towards the end, there's some drama that in a typical romance anime would have ended the series, but this was like, no, let's use this as a character building moment, and it went really well. I don't want to spoil what it is, but I think the series handled it as well as they could, and I really liked that. So I also liked the concept of him being like, hey, here's how I feel about having premarital sex. Maybe we shouldn't. And so that was not that like they're doing it for Christian reasons, because they're not. But it's the thought that counts. You know, okay. It's the thought that counts. What did I miss? Oh, hello, Inferno Lycan. What did you miss? Ranking everything that's on screen. Other than that, not much. John Bass did do a $10 super chat and became a member, which, John, if you're still watching, I still appreciate that. So, that's about it. Also, TC Indiana, I see you. You watching MHA with some other guys? Based. So valid. All right. Tomo-chan is a girl. B. I don't have much to say about it. It's B. It's all right. I did appreciate that it's like an open and shut 12 episode case. Or maybe it's 13. I don't remember. But pretty open and shut. I appreciated that. Series, movies, or both? Both. This is every anime I've seen, which includes movies and shows. So we have both here tonight, which is why there's so many of them. So, End of Evangelion, Shadow Realm. It's a terrible movie. Anybody who tries to justify End of Evangelion as being a good movie is factually incorrect. I hope that point stands. End of Evangelion is a terrible movie because it serves as the conclusion to what should have been a perfect conclusion to a series. If you have to make a movie to do a different conclusion to the conclusion of your series, that's not good. That's not, I don't care how confusing and intricate and but it's so complicated and deep and psychological and spiritual. I don't care. Evangelion has like 7 endings, and that doesn't make it good. That just means the creator couldn't decide which one he liked, so he went with all of them. I don't know. The second Evangelion movie, I did not care for the Rebuild movies. I thought, actually, I'm not going to say that. I thought the Rebuild movies were fine. Sword Art Online, Progressive, Scherzo of Deep Night. A tier, dude. Some of the best. I can't justify putting it above Spy Family, though. Some of the best Sword Art Online content we've gotten. I'll be so real. The Progressive movies, fantastic. Fantastic, dude. So amazing. If you like Sword Art Online, you'll love the Progressive movies because they're actually good. And they focus on building the character and fleshing out the world and not rushing through the entire titular game in the first 14 episodes. Lord have mercy. And people did not watch Progressive because it's Sword Art Online. And they're like, Sword Art Online's bad. And I'm like, no, guys, you don't understand. Sword Art Online is good. Well, Progressive is good. The other 7 Deadly Sins movie, I'm just going to put them together because they both live pretty next to each other in my head. They were all right. Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop, B. It was all right. It was fun. I like the concept, but not nothing too crazy. Is this Dragon Ball Super? If you want to load. Yes, this is Dragon Ball Super. Okay. Dragon Ball Super, I'm gonna put in... Alright, Dragon Ball fans, don't crucify me. I'm gonna put it in C. It was alright. Now, granted, I haven't watched the Tournament of Power, and I don't really care to, because I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball fan, and that will be apparent as this stream goes on. Super is alright. The first Evangelion movie is like the 1.0. The first Rebuild film, which is essentially just a recap of the first season, is also F. No, I'll put it in D. It's the first season. It's the first like bit of the anime, but animated better. So I'll give it a pass for that. Tonikawa, I'm gonna give Tonikawa a high B. I think it's fun. I share a birthday with the protagonist of Tonikawa, so that's cool. I think Tonikawa is just, it's good. It's fun. They get married in like the first episode. I think that's pretty sick. It's another one where you focus on building the relationship and not like the will they won't they, and I appreciate that. My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising. I'll put it high A. Because here's the thing. here's the thing. Heroes Rising is good. It is, I think it's the best My Hero movie thus far. But, much like World Heroes Mission, it is carried by the third act and that final fight. But, as an aside, I think Heroes Rising focuses on a lot more of the characters. Like, I think Heroes Rising has a better villain in 9 and his, like, whole group of gangsters, which is really just a knockoff stand-in for the League of Villains, if you really think about it. And 9 is just, like, pre-Shigaraki, which is canon, actually. 9 was the test subject for transferring All for One to a different person with their own quirk already, and then he died in the movie. So, I like 9, and I think Heroes Rising does a better job at focusing on all of Class 1A instead of, like, World Heroes Mission essentially just focuses on Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. And that was, like, a pitfall of the first movie, too, was the first movie really only focused on a handful of characters, whereas Heroes Rising gave everyone time to shine. And if your favorite Class 1A person is Sero, you still got a really cool Sero moment in Heroes Rising, and that wasn't necessarily the case for the other two movies, which is why I'll put it higher. And that final fight, dude, is so good. It's peak. Oh. Yeah, dude. Let me catch up on chat here. For me, a lot of the movies are just showing off their graphics, animation. It's really hard to do a decent story, plot, characters in the short duration of a movie. That's fair. DBS is annoyingly bad. True. Didn't you already make a tier list with these anime? Yes and no. The other tier list I did was all of the romance anime I'd seen. It was specifically romance. This is all of the anime I've seen. So the romance are a big part of that because 56 of the 166 is romance. So it's kind of like treading over, but they're also in different places because putting in other anime that don't count there, like, changes the ranking a little bit. Heroes Rising was nice. They introduced a different island in the series. Yes, that is true. I liked Tonikawa. I thought it was super cute. Still keep up with the manga. I need to read the manga. I need to find a way to read it online, though, because I can't buy everything. Makes sense. I wonder how they would have stopped him when he got the regeneration quirk. Probably not. I mean, also, you probably could have brought him into, like, because he was not, like, peak All for One or even, like, 75% Shigaraki from Season 6. Like, he wasn't that good because he didn't have access to the All for One quirks. He had a much more limited amount because if you remember in Heroes Rising, he tried to steal One for All, but he couldn't take all of the quirks from One for All because he didn't have enough slots. I think it says in the movie how many slots he had specifically, but I don't remember that off the top of my head. So, they probably would have been fine. Like, they would have had to call in pros like Endeavor and Hawks, but they would have been fine. He just would have been a little, you know. He had 9 slots. That's right, because they called him 9. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. He was taking good quirks, but he still, like if you think about it, Shigaraki and All for One have access to this, like, boundless pool of quirks, and they still got bodied by Endeavor and All Might and Deku, like, I can't say that, it's a manga spoiler. They still got bodied, even with that massive pool. And 9 having less than that, only having 9 quirks, yeah, they were good quirks, but they're not enough, like, to surpass that. So, he was just meant to be a throwaway side villain for a movie, and that's fine. So, I like 9. He was great. Okay. Science fell in love, so I tried to prove it. Another B tier. But it was better than these. And I liked it until the last season where they, like, got into a whole love triangle thing at the end, and I'm like, I don't like where that's going. I think that's kind of awful, actually. Everything else about it was great. I love the overly scientific stuff. I actually felt like I learned something from that one. But, you know, it is what it is. So, My Happy Marriage, I'll put it upper C. It was good, but like I said in the romance anime tier list, I feel like it peaked halfway through and then was kind of on a downward taper until the end. So, that's just me. Teasing Master Takagi-san, I'll put it in maybe. I think it was alright. Could have been better. I don't know. I mean, it was good. It's not my fave, though. Waiting in the Summer, I'm gonna say C. I like the premise. I think it was good, but that's about all I have to say about it. So, couple of cuckoos, dude. Alright, maybe controversial. B tier. Would go higher if it didn't have incest in it. And, okay, let me clarify. Arguably, it doesn't. It's just this guy's sister, who's not his biological sister, but was raised as his sister. Right? I'm trying to think. It's, like, technically not incest, but that's, like, the route they're going. Yeah, that's right. It's his... Okay, so the main guy and the main girl were switched at birth. So they grew up with the other's parent. So the guy's sister is not really his sister. Like, they were raised together as siblings because they didn't know about the birth swap thing till way later. So they were raised as siblings. So they're basically, for all intensive purposes, they are siblings. That was just their loophole to justify it legally when they wanted to loop that around in the story later. Now, the first season, I don't remember her being too active about it, and I don't think he was going to be too active about it because he's like, no, you're my sister, even though, like, not really, but you're my sister. So I'm not too worried about it, but if that aspect of it wasn't in the story, it would go higher. Other than that, I think it's pretty solid, and I enjoyed it. Sword Art Online Progressive Scherzo of Deep Night, I'm also going to put in A tier with the other movie. I do feel like Scherzo of Deep Night did better than Aria of a Starless Night. And that's just me, dude. Other than that, Aria of a Starless Night's really good. Great start to, like, essentially recap what was in... Because I think the first movie goes up until the first floor boss. And that's where they end. And I really enjoyed that. I thought it was good. So, Belle, this is another one that was in that video I just put out. I'll put Belle in B. I think it was good. It's, I think, the only musical on this list, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it was good, though. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Alright, Dragon Ball Super Broly. So, fun fact. The final fight of this movie is like 45 minutes long. Because when they start fighting Broly, like a half hour in. And then it goes on for the remaining duration of the movie. So, I thought it was good. The entire fight with Broly, because it's essentially just peak Dragon Ball, where it's low effort plot. The plot is nothing special. It's fighting, though. And that's what I want out of a Dragon Ball movie. And it delivered on that. And it gives you a really good Gogeta fight at the end, dude. It's great. Easily my favorite Dragon Ball thing that I've ever watched. Because it's also one that, even if you haven't watched Super, you could jump in to Dragon Ball Super Broly and you wouldn't feel like you're missing anything. Like, yeah, there's a little context with like, oh, who's Weiss, who's Beerus, like, who are they? But it's not really important because they don't really show up for the rest of the movie. So even though I'm not like super deep on the Dragon Ball lore, I still think Broly was great. So I will put Broly in A. He was good. Most incest anime has that. Technically, they're not related, but most people see it as being incest, which turns them off. And sadly, some are really good romance and rom-com anime that explores love. Yes. My issue with that is, like, if they're not going to be technically related, it's very simple to just not have that aspect of the story. Just make it a normal romance. Make it a normal rom-com. Like, because you try to, like, justify all of those, like, oh, well, it's my stepsister, so, like, we're not really related, but, you know. Like, you try to justify it, and I'm like, just take it off. It's that simple. Just don't. Like, I don't know. So, Black Clover. Okay, this one's a little interesting because it's technically in my dropped category. Because I watched 7 episodes of Black Clover, and I could not get into it. I couldn't, to save my life. I want to go back and give it another chance. And because I've heard a lot of... Because my biggest issue with it was Asta was annoying. And I can't get past him screaming. And I know that's probably like nails on a chalkboard, and it's the same thing that people say with Deku cries a lot. And I'm like, okay, sure. I hate the Deku cries a lot argument, but Asta's annoying, dude. And everyone's like, he gets better. He gets better. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it another chance later down the line and see if I can get into it. Because it sounds good. I've heard it's good, and I want to believe it's good. So for now, I'm going to put it in D. Because I did not enjoy it. That's what the D stands for. I'm trying to keep drinking water so I don't burn my throat out. Because, I mean, wow, I made a much bigger dent in that than I thought I did. I mean, there's still a lot, but... Okay, Pompo the Cinephile. A tier, dude. Great movie that not enough people have seen because it's an anime movie about making movies, and that's why I like it, because it's one that the film bros and the non-film bros can both enjoy, regardless of it being about movies. Like, you don't have to be a film bro to understand it or watch it or enjoy it. And there's a lot of great creative decisions that took place, and just so good. That's another one I'm going to do a video on in the near future. I just need to get the footage and the script all together because I really appreciated that one. I thought it was great. Wodakoi. Ooh. Yeah, it was better than the comp films. It's not great, though. I didn't care for it. Wodakoi was one of those shows that I had to watch on Prime Video, which, much like Hulu, Prime Video is the worst thing to watch anime on. I can't stand it, especially now because we're not paying for the ad-free tier. Prime Video used to be goated, and then they added ads, and now it's not. But Prime Video specifically for watching anime is the worst, mainly because other services that aren't anime dedicated, like Crunchyroll or even Netflix to a certain extent, don't prioritize subtitles at all. They run them the same as English caps, and it just doesn't work out, and I hate it. So, Wodakoi, though, as a show, I like the premise of, like, oh, these two nerds are getting together, and they both like all the nerdy things, but they like different nerdy things. But the one thing that bothered me was how prevalent in the series the BL aspects were, not with any of the main characters, like, being romantically put together, but it was just the main girl really loves BL, and so does her friend. And the fact that it was so prevalent in the story kind of turned me off, because I'm like, you're trying to do a normal romance, but you clearly wanted to go in this direction. So don't bring that into the normal romance sphere. So that part kind of bothered me. And what is that? BL is boys love. So gay. That's what BL is. So I steer clear of those anime, which is the one thing I do appreciate about anime, is that anime does a lot better job of segmenting things and keeping them in their genre. So like BL usually will not overlap with the normal typical romance. Like it's its own genre, it's its own category on all the different apps and stuff. And I'm like, okay, great. Which means that when I'm watching like Love is War, I don't gotta worry about that because that's not the demographic for Love is War. And they understand that. And they do a lot better about that than we do here in the West. Because the West is like, let's put it in everything. And I'm like, okay. Thanks, guys. Based anime fan BL equals Black Lagoon. Yeah, that's true. Could also say BL is Blue Lock. Or any of the other anime that could be abbreviated to BL. So, Dragon Ball Super Superhero. I'm going to give this one a pretty upper B. I think the animation actually really worked for like the 2D cell shaded 3D that they did. I thought it looked really good. It worked really well for the fights, and it was very dynamic and fluid and looked great. I thought the story was great. It was another one that, while it did pull a lot of lore from Dragon Ball with the Red Ribbon Army, it gave a significant enough recap at the beginning that as someone who didn't watch the original Dragon Ball, I was caught up and I understood what was going on. And I actually honestly enjoyed it a lot for Goku and Vegeta not being in it at all. And I think that was really cool, was they were able to take Piccolo and Gohan and make them the focus and not have to be like, oh, Goku and Vegeta are going to come in at the end and save the day. Like, no, it was legitimately a Gohan and Piccolo movie. And I thought that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. So I'll put it in, it looks like mid B now. I'll take that. Masamune Kun's Revenge. D, bro. D for dumb. This dude got made fun of when he was fat once and took it way too personally and then swore to get revenge on this girl. And then he ends up falling in love with her. Like, dude, your whole plan went to shambles because you couldn't fully commit. Either fully commit and fall in love with this girl, or don't. And fully commit to your plan. And everybody will gas it up and be like, oh, it's actually S tier. And I'm like, no. Clearly you haven't watched anything that's up there in S or double S. Okay. Get on my level. So, anyway, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, one of the only good parts of Jujutsu Kaisen. I gotta put it up here in A tier, dog. Legitimately the best part of Jujutsu Kaisen. Yes, Toradора's on there. Toradora is in every single tier list that I do, and I can't wait to do a tier list where Toradora doesn't come up because I'm sick of talking about it. Anyway, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, really good. I like the self-contained story. I like where the plot goes. It serves as a great sequel and a great follow-up and conclusion to the Hidden Inventory arc, which I just rewatched today because I'm doing a video on it. So look forward to that in the near future. And if you want to have early access to it, you can sign up for memberships. Okay, that's my plug out of the way. I did my plug. Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is great. It has great action. I watched it in the IMAX theater when it came out. Dude, incredible. Incredible in the IMAX. And I like Yuta as a protagonist more than I like Yuji. There. I said it. I said it. I think Yuta's a better protagonist than Yuji. I'll die on that hill. Because he's engaging. He's interesting. He's got good motivation. He cares about people. Well, Yuji cares about people. But here's the thing. Jujutsu Kaisen 0 does not heavily rely on Gojo. And I think that's great. Because Jujutsu Kaisen, the series, relies incredibly heavy on Gojo to do everything. And I think I will never forgive Geiji for giving us such an amazing protagonist as Yuta in JJK 0 and then sending him away until the end of the Shibuya arc. What do you mean, dude? What are you talking about? Get out of here. You can't make the coolest protagonist with a sword and a cursed spirit that can mimic things and make him the second greatest sorcerer, the second strongest sorcerer, and send him away for half the series. What do you mean? What do you mean? Terrible writing. And that is emblematic of what is wrong with Jujutsu Kaisen. It has a lot of great ideas, a lot of very cool power system, very cool world building, super great, and it's just not executed well. It's fumbled almost every single time. Okay? It's just frustrating because JJK 0 is like what Jujutsu Kaisen should have been. I think the best stretch of JJK is hidden inventory into 0, and then you just stop watching. Don't watch anything else. It's not worth watching. And I'll loop back around to that when we get to JJK proper, because I have more things to say, but I'm keeping it kind of reined in and focused on the movie. It was incredible. What can I say? And I really liked the other characters that were with him. Panda, Maki, and Inumaki. Inuzuka? What's his name? Inumaki, the guy who, like, speaks. He's like, die, and then they die. So, I like all of them. I think they're great. I like them arguably more so than Nobara and Megumi, who get shafted in their own series, dude. It's incredibly baffling what happens to them. And I'll get back to Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay. Next up, Hokkaido gals are super adorable. I don't know if this one made it on the romance anime tier list. I don't think it did. Maybe it did. This one is essentially guy moves to Canada and falls in love with blonde hair anime girl. That's about it. Now, does he actually move to Canada? No. But he moves to Hokkaido. And I don't know what the director was thinking, the ADR director. They cast all, like, people with Canadian accents to do the dub. So it's like, if you listen to the dub like I did, this guy moves to Canada and falls in love with an anime girl. And it's kind of funny. It's pretty wholesome. There's a lot of fan service in it, which will be very glaringly obvious if you look at, like, she is best girl, by the way, because she's a gamer girl. Best girl right here. Underrated. But of course she's the main girl. She's best girl though. And she's, I don't know, she's kind of there. But yeah, so I'll give it a solid B. I didn't think it was like anything too special, but it was good. It was all right. It was enjoyable. Tsundere Children, that's the quickest D tier I've ever seen in my life. It's I don't even remember it enough to tell you what's wrong with it. A Galaxy Next Door, I'll put that in C. It was all right. Another one with a good premise. But could have been better. I think there's a lot of nuance there. Or actually, no, nuance is not the right word. There's a lot of interesting plot points that got brought up, and I think it was fun. And it kind of dives into like the love at first sight type thing. So, I don't know. It was interesting. So you're saying Hokkaido is the Japanese equivalent of Canada? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the dub director of the show said that. And given that it only snows there, that's about all I know about Canada. Is that it snows in Canada. I'm not very well versed with our neighbors to the north. So Jim, you gotta chill. You're not wrong, but you gotta chill, dog. All right. School Days. Oh, Shadow Realm. Worse than I would watch End of Evangelion before I watch School Days again. Because nobody warned me ahead of time that School Days was an anime adaptation of a hentai game. I just thought it was a really sucky romance anime because I heard about it on the Trash Taste podcast. And they were talking about School Days and how it was like the greatest romance anime of all time, used with very strong air quotes. And I was like, oh, okay, let me watch it. Like, it can't be that bad. Like, I've seen some bad anime. Nobody warned me about that fact before I watched it, which I knew after the fact. And putting it in the context of that makes a lot more sense about the plot of School Days. Don't watch it. It's not good. The twist ending was pretty funny. Because, like, the MC gets exactly what he deserves. And you feel so justified in what happened to him. And then later on, what happened to the other female protagonist. School Days is a very early prototype of DDLC, actually. And you'll never be able to convince me otherwise. Look up School Days Family Tree. Please don't make me. I'm going to look this up off stream because I don't want to... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, is School Days connected to that other game? Or that other thing? I ain't reading all that. That's too much. I hate that. I hate... Brother, you... Yeah, no. Don't watch School Days. Not good. The Ice Guy and his cool female colleague. I'll put that in C. It was all right. I like a good office romance every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Is that safe to look up? No. Not on stream, it's not. Ice Guy was pretty cool. It was I like a good adult romance, you know, not the high school setting. So it was good. Rent a Girlfriend, honestly, would be Shadow Realm if season 3 didn't actually kind of slap. I'll say it on air. Season 3 of Rent a Girlfriend was actually kind of good. Now, that's saying that the bar is on the floor and we tippy-toed over the bar. So it's like not a 10 out of 10, but it's good because we actually got some solid character development from Kazuya. We got to see Chizuru become an actress and get to do her movie and show her grandma. Dude, when they got to that episode of showing the grandma the movie, I almost started tearing up, man. Like, it's the best episode of the show. And say what you will about Rent-A-Girlfriend, dude. It's terrible. It's garbage. Dumpster fire. Season 3, the plot kind of locked in. And if it had that level of consistency throughout all of it, it could be really good. And the problem with Rent-A-Girlfriend is that it's like all of the girls, like Chizuru, Mami, Ruka, I think is her name. The girl with the headband. But the quiet girl, like, all of them are really great, and they would be incredible protagonists of their own romance anime. Or, like, their own romance series. Chizuru especially. She is such a great character that has so many different aspects and levels and so much to her character, but she's stuck in such a terrible anime with such a terrible protagonist. And it's awful. I want better for her. I want to watch the anime where we get to watch Chizuru become a proper actress and achieve that goal. But it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Because the artist is a loser who goes on dates with Chizuru despite having a wife and kids. That's lame. That's some gooner mentality right there. Okay? That's lame. Yes, Jam, you are correct. The arc of the manga where season 3 happened was actually good. The acting arc showed he can broken write, but chooses to be a Coomer. Yes. Yes. He can write. But he chooses not to. He chooses not to. And that's the hard part. So that's what I'll say about Rent-a-Girlfriend. Okay. It still boggles my mind that he's paying a girl to spend time with him. It shouldn't. If you know Kazuya as a character, doesn't surprise me. Dragon Quest Your Story. Has anybody else seen this movie? Is this like the most niche thing I put on this list? I'm gonna put it in D, mainly because one, I don't remember a ton about it, but also I remember this was like my early anime days. Or, well, not even early anime days, because I watched it in 2020. I think the thing that threw me off with this one was it was the first, like, 3D animated anime movie I watched. Or not even anime, because it's Dragon Quest. That's a video game. What threw me off was that the dub did not match the lip flaps. And it just threw me off so much. And it took me out. Because at least with the, like, 2D stuff, they kind of try to match the lip flaps, but they didn't do that at all with the 3D animation, and that kind of threw me off. It was also kind of an alright movie. Still can't get over the NTR pool scene. Yeah, it's terrible. It's Rent-a-Girlfriend is a terrible series. It's not good, and it baffles my mind every single day that they would rather make season 4 of Rent-a-Girlfriend. The first romance anime, by the way, in my memory, to break the 3-season curse. For those who don't know, I have this like running joke of the romance anime curse, where a romance anime will either conclude or never go past season 3. And this has been true of almost every single romance anime on this list. Think about it. Think about it. Name a romance anime that went over 4 seasons aside from Rent-a-Girlfriend. That's right. You can't. If there is, it's incredibly rare. So it just boggles my mind that instead of making like season 4 of Love is War or another season of Shikimori, right? They're going to make season 4 of Rent-a-Girlfriend. Dude. Gross. Gross. All right. Back to Studio Ghibli. We got Princess Mononoke. I'm gonna give Mononoke a high B. I enjoyed it. Much for the same reasons as Castle in the Sky, because I could see a lot of the inspiration for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. More so Tears of the Kingdom because of like all the goopy stuff going on with his arm. And I could really see where they drew inspiration from. And I think that was really good. And I really enjoyed it. And I think it's good. It's one of the better Ghibli movies. It's one of my favorites that I've seen. We'll get to my favorite here in a minute. Not even the quintuplets, Kaguya-sama, which was super popular. Well, quintuplets is over. Like, they concluded that junk in 2 seasons and a movie. So quintuplets didn't even go over 3 seasons. And Kaguya-sama got 3 seasons and a movie. And does it really? Kimi no Tokide has over 3 seasons? Did we get a good romance that passed 3 seasons? Good. That'll balance out Rent a Girlfriend getting 4 seasons. Good. But yeah, Love is War got 3 seasons in a movie, and they have gone, Aniplex and A1 has gone radio silent on giving us any more Love is War. But Aniplex also has their hands full doing stuff like Windbreaker and Solo Leveling. So they've got their hands full on other stuff, which is tragic, but at the same time, I get it. So if you want to really read Love is War, please read Love is War to finish the story. Like, they stopped halfway through the series. They stopped at volume 14, and there's 28 volumes. They have, like, 14 more volumes to go. Would I count Bunny Girl Senpai? No. Because they have 1 season and 3 movies. And when you break that down content-wise, you could probably fit all 3 of those movies in 1 season. And it would be like 2 seasons. Because they go by arc, much like Demon Slayer. They're going by arc. So, like, 1 arc was 1 movie, and then they kept going. And now they're in the college arc. So, theoretically, you could count Bunny Girl Senpai in a way, but they're not to the college arc yet. So that's where we're at with that. So, holy moly, we still have so much left. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's fine. All right. Spirited Away. Maybe one of the bigger hot takes of the night. Spirited Away is overrated as all get out. It's not that good, in my opinion. Now that I've added that, nobody can attack me. Spirited Away is, honest to God, probably one of the most overrated anime I've ever watched. Because everyone was like, oh, it's this incredible movie that's like a masterclass in storytelling and just a straight 10 out of 10 and a solid banger all the way through. And I watched it and I was either consistently bored or confused the entire time. And I just did not have a good time with it. So, like, I didn't enjoy it too terribly much. And I just think it's overrated. I can understand why people would like it, but I still think it's overrated. Who publishes Love is War manga? Can I read it with my Viz or Shonen Jump subscription? I think you can. Let me see. Do I still have Shonen Jump? I don't have it installed, but I can reinstall it real quick. I think you can read Love is War on Shonen Jump. If not, you can read it on Manga Plus. Okay, you can read Love is War on Shonen Jump. So you can get it with your Shonen Jump subscription. It is included. Seven Deadly Sins, Prisoners of the Sky. F. I hated that movie. It was awful. Don't make me talk about it. Lupin 3, the first. That one was pretty good. I enjoyed that one. It was another one of those 3D animated movies. I thought it was fun. I'd never seen a Lupin movie before, though. So, that was pretty cool. A Silent Voice. A tier, dude. What are you talking about? A Silent Voice is goated. It's so good. I actually... Oh, you can't see it because I have the wrong shelf in the frame. I have back there on my shelf, I have the box set of the manga. And I want to go through and read it because I heard a lot of the manga didn't make it into the movie. Like, apparently there's some romance aspects between the two main characters. And that just didn't make it in the movie at all. And that was one thing I didn't like about the movie was, like, they hinted at it and then it never fully, like, came full circle. And apparently all that gets covered in the manga. So I want to read it and see what they didn't put in. Because I love the movie. I think it's an incredibly powerful movie. And is just so good. But aside from that, it was good. I really enjoyed it. So, all right. All right. Let's talk about Toradora. Because it comes up in every live stream now. Let's talk about Toradora. One moment. Okay. Toradora is a high D tier at best. And I had I feel so bad. I feel so terrible now. Oh no. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. Let's back up. First of all, thank you, Maximum Effort Max, for the $20 super chat. That's insane. Wow. I originally set aside $100, but spent most of my money donating it to hurricane relief. I expect you to put Toradora in S tier where it belongs. Okay. So, while I do appreciate the support very much, I didn't think I was going to get any super chats tonight. But I am not a politician, which means money will not sway my opinions. And I'm still going to put it in D tier. But I appreciate your $20 super chat. So, you will not sway me with money, okay? You will not sway me with money. I do appreciate it, though. That is a lot. And honestly, I'm not even mad. Like, how do I want to say this? You are so valid for putting I hope you put the rest of that towards hurricane relief, because they need that money so much more than I do. Even all of the crazy stuff that's going on down there that the government's doing. But that's not what we're here to talk about. First of all, okay, again, wow. That's so crazy. What? That super chat alone that's covered the rest of my October videos. Like, the 2 super chats I got tonight, that covers the rest of my October videos. So October is covered. And that's incredible. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. That's crazy. I didn't send the money to sway you. You're allowed to have a wrong opinion from time to time. You're funny. You're funny. Okay, so as I was saying, Toradora is a high D. And let me tell you, I said, so the 20th anniversary or whatever, the 15th anniversary or whatever of Toradora was this week, and Crunchyroll posted something about it, and I quote retweeted it, and I said, get this mid off my timeline. Just because that's one of my controversial opinions is I think Toradora is beyond mid. It's overrated as all get out, and I don't think it's very good, and I'll explain why in a second. But someone commented on my tweet and was like, you've been watching anime for 1/10 of the time I've been alive, so don't get mad that you just don't like old school tsunderes. And it got deleted. Which I think is okay, because we're not on bad terms or anything. But it just made me think, and I was like, well, no. It's not. My issue is not that Taiga is a tsundere. My problem is that she's a bad person. She's an awful person. And she doesn't go through any meaningful character development. Like, yes, she becomes slightly less abusive and slightly less toxic. But at the end of the anime, she's still this self-centered, I'm gonna run away because I don't want to deal with all of this stuff, so I'm gonna go run away and take time on me, and then comes back randomly to surprise Ryuji, and then I think she leaves again. So where do you get off trying to tell me that this is like peak romance? No, it's just bad. It's not great. Oh, there goes my chat again. Thanks, OBS. Oh my gosh, not another super chat, dude. What? YouTube, this is why I need the chat to work. Dude, what the heck? Okay. Terry Tate Office Linebacker with the $4.99 super chat. Thoughts on Ghost in the Shell and the show's standalone complex? I feel awful because I've never seen either of those. I've heard of Ghost in the Shell. I know of it. And other than that, I don't know anything about it. Same for standalone complex. Maybe I've seen it. Like, heard of it. Not necessarily seen it. Maybe not. Oh, that looks interesting. Oh, it's a Ghost in the Shell type spin-off. I see. Gotcha. I have not seen it. I will definitely add it to my list, though. Here, I'll add it to my list right now on my phone. I'll pull it up and everything. Because you left a super chat, and that's the least I can do. Is Ghost in the Shell is a movie, isn't it? Or the... Yeah, Ghost in the Shell is a movie. So there you go. It's in my watch list. And then I think the movie might already be in my watch list, if I remember correctly. Is it? It's not. Well, it is now. Those are two, like, there's a long list of, like, classic romance that I need to go through and watch. So we'll see how that goes. There's one thing I want to... Okay, thank you. Not what I wanted to do. How do I get to... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I was doing the right thing. Hold on. Uno momento. Gang. I'm trying to do something real quick on the back end because I want to make sure. Here we go. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure live chat replay is on so that I can make sure that all like these super chats are getting saved. Ghost in the Shell is the first movie. Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is the anime. Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't like Toradora. I think Taiga is a terrible protagonist. She's a terrible, abusive tsundere who has no character development throughout the entire series. And honest to God, I don't like Ryuji either. Because he's an enabler. He enables her bad behavior. And they don't really work well together. I think they work better with the original pairs that they were supposed to be in. Where they were like supposed to help each other get in those pairs and whatnot. So yeah, that's my take on Toradora. I don't like it. I don't think it's great. I've gotten a lot of flack for that because people were like, how dare you say that about our Lord and Savior Toradora? And there's two more on this tier list that are gonna have a similar reaction, and we'll get there. So, Engage Kiss. Ugh, F. I cannot stand that show. Is this the Quint's movie or is that the show? I think this is the show and the movie is down here. Quintessential quintuplets, I'll put in B, because retrospectively looking at it, I think it's a lot better than I thought it was. Mainly because the girl I wanted to win didn't win, but that's not technically in the anime. So I'll give it a pass for now. Quintessential quintuplets is pretty good. Another, like, correct way to do a harem anime. But yeah, I don't know. It's all right. I'll talk more about it when I get to the movie, because that's where I have more of my gripes. More of my gripes come from with the movie. Next up, Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. I just finished this one this week, so it's fresh in my mind. Bottom of C. Actually, no. I'm putting it top of D. Dude, this anime is so cracked in a bad way. Because this one genuinely leans into the incest stuff. And it kind of bothers me. And, like, Alya's cool. There's a lot of fan service, though. But not in, like, the typical fan service way. Just in there's, like, some Quentin Tarantino-esque feet shots in the first episode. In the first episode. It's wild to me. It's wild to me that people like this. Actually, no, it's not. I understand why people like it. It scratches a particular itch, and brother, ew. So yeah, I don't know, man. Gross. I did not care for it. I watched it dubbed, and I genuinely lost it. I was sitting at my desk yesterday watching it, because the last episode of the dub came out. And the sister says, because, like, the final thing was, like, a debate, and she just goes, "Chat, we got cooked." And I was like, no shot. That's what she says in the sub. There's no way. Like, they threw a lot of Gen Z, like, Gen Alpha, like, slang in the dub. And I was like, okay, some of it I can give a pass because it's a comedy show, and you're trying to, like, make it funny. Like, some of it was pretty tasteful and funny. But that one was like, what? She's not a streamer. It doesn't make sense for her to say, "Chat, we got cooked." Because she never indicated that she watched streams. She never indicated that she was a streamer. So it doesn't make sense for someone who's not in that world to say, "Chat, we got cooked." That'd be like my sister saying, "Chat, we got cooked." She doesn't know what that means. I don't know, man. It's just dumb. Also, we are coming up on 2 hours of the stream, and we still have a decent ways to go. So what I'm going to do is we're going to keep going in about 2 hours. And at about 2 hours, we're going to take like a 5-ish minute break. I'll throw up the Be Right Back screen, put some music on. We're going to do a 5-minute break so we can all get up and like stretch, get some water, go to the bathroom, whatever. So we'll be taking a break here in about 5-ish minutes. Placing that above Toradora as a violation of human rights. No, because I'd rather watch Alya than Toradora again. I said what I said. All right, Your Lie in April. Here we go. I did not expect Your Lie in April and Toradora to be this close together. Your Lie in April also goes in D tier because it is also one of the most overhyped anime I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm going to spoil Your Lie in April. So if you haven't seen it, just turn the volume down, and I'll give you like a crazy hand wave like this that you can come back if you don't want to get spoiled, okay? Your Lie in April. Everyone told me, oh, it's so sad. Oh, it's going to make you emotional. Oh, you're going to cry at the end. It's such an emotional tearjerker. I was like, okay, let's give it a watch. So I gave it a watch. It was not that. It was bad. It was bad in every sense of the word. The first half was actually pretty solid. I thought it was good. And then after that first half, in the second half, is where they lost me. because it started like going downhill, and they really dived into like the blonde girl's disease or illness or cancer or whatever she had, and they were like, oh, well, she's gonna die, and you learn that pretty like you could have figured it out relatively soon, but they don't really like tell you until the second half. And then she kind of mysteriously disappears one day, and then she dies. But it's like this really great emotional final performance with him. And then Kosei, the main guy, is like, oh, yada, yada, yada. I'm gonna, like, oh, like, his childhood best friend is in love with him, but he's not in love with her. And Kosei is in love with the main girl, the blonde-haired girl. And Kosei's best friend is in love with the blonde-haired girl, and the blonde-haired girl is in love with Kosei. So it's like this weird love square. And it didn't work. And then you get to the end, and she dies, and she left like this note or whatever for Kosei, and was like, oh, I've loved you since day one. Like, your piano playing really inspired me, and I just wanted to get you to know. I just wanted to get to know you better, and I wanted to, like, fall in love with you and go out with you and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, okay, that's kind of unfortunate. That's kind of tragic. Like, aw, that's sad. Why weren't you honest with him in the first place? He was very clearly smitten with you, and you knew that. So why weren't you, like, why didn't this start sooner? It's not... I don't like her. Her death was not that sad. Because you knew it was coming from, like, episode 1. Aside from that, it really frustrates me how, in that world, everything revolves around Kosei. Like, everything revolves around Kosei. Every single thing. Every time a new character comes in, it's not because they have anything to add to the plot. It's because they were inspired by Kosei's piano playing. So it was like Kosei was the only guy in Japan. Ever. And it's just like, ew. Icky. Ugh. I don't know, man. Your Lie in April. Overrated. Not that great. And honestly, I'm a voice of the people. Because every time I say that, at least one person is like, finally, someone said it. Somebody stepped up and spoke. I didn't want to say anything because it's a controversial take. And I'm like, yes, I will be the voice of the people. I'll do it. I'll say it. I'll take the flag. I'll speak for you. I'm a man of the people. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of Your Lie in April. I think it's not great, and I would probably never watch it again. Wasn't paying attention for the first hour. Did you already rate ReZero? No. ReZero is way down here somewhere. I just know. Oh yeah, ReZero is at the very end. So we have a long ways to go. I'd say we're probably about halfway through. Oh, dude. And there's some bangers in there that I haven't even gotten to yet. I told you guys this is going to be a long stream. Like, it's probably going to be the longest not DDLC stream. So, do I want to break now? Or do I want to do... I'll break, and then we'll do Domestic Girlfriend. We'll come back swinging. Let me find some better music. I will swap up the music for you before we go on break. Let me think. Actually, here's what I'll say. Chat, anybody got some good Nintendo music recommendations for the break? Does anybody want to suggest anything? I will let you guys pick. I'm also going to run an ad while we're on break, too. So, let me know if anybody has any recos in chat. I'm thinking maybe some Mario Kart. Okay, I'm seeing Coconut Mall, Pokemon Black and White, Xenoblade, Twilight Princess. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling Coconut Mall. Jake, I think you were cooking with Coconut Mall. Yeah, I think Jake was cooking with Coconut Mall. I'm going to be real. So, ooh, hold on. I got to turn the other music off first. Okay, we're going to pause that. Turn on Coconut Mall. All right, chat. We're going to take like a 5-ish minute break. Go get some water. Go get some, go to the bathroom. Go get a snack. Do whatever. We'll be back in about 5-ish minutes and we'll finish out this tier list. All right. We are back. And of course, right as I say that, my chat disappears again. Thanks, OBS. It'll refresh here in a second. All right, let me switch the music back. No more Coconut Mall for you. Sorry, guys. All right. Whew. How's everybody doing? We still doing all right? Have I seen Machiaine? Yes, it's on the tier list. We will get to it tonight. It's actually right here. So I have seen it, yes. So, all right. Let's finish up this tier list. We got a lot to go. But we are going to work our way through it, and we're going to get it done. So, moving on. I like how we don't have another double S yet. That's crazy to me. That's insane, actually. All right. Domestic Girlfriend, Shadow Realm. Must I even say more? It's Domestic Girlfriend. It's awful. I don't even need to say more. My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. I'm going to put right here with World Heroes Mission. Kind of like, if I can. Okay. Kind of like I said earlier, 2 Heroes is heavily carried by that third act. I think it does do a lot for the world building by establishing Island and introducing us to David and Melissa Shield, who definitely come up later in the series. But I think it is severely hindered by the fact that it focuses on a group of Class 1A instead of all of Class 1A. And I think that's where it gets held back a lot. So that's sad. But, you know, it is what it is. The last fight is cool. We get like the father-son Detroit smash, as the kiddies would call it. So next up, something, the childhood rom-com where the protagonist or childhood friend won't lose. F tier. I don't even remember the name, so it's not getting that much attention. Girlfriend's going in Shadow Realm. I'm not talking about this anime. It's awful. It's awful. Just, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but it's like this red-haired girl is dating the guy, and then this blue-haired girl is like, hey, I'm also in love with you. And instead of doing the rational thing of being like, well, I appreciate that. And I acknowledge your feelings, and your feelings are valid, but also I have a girlfriend. He's like, hey, girlfriend, can we add another girlfriend in and do this whole polygamy thing? And they both kind of like bully and gaslight the red-haired girl into it. And it's kind of dumb. And I don't know. I don't like it. Anyway, Your Name... Ooh. Your Name... I'm going to put up here in A tier. I think Your Name is an incredible movie. Much like the rest of Shinkai's work, it's a pretty solid banger. And I appreciate it. And I think it's good. I don't have much more to say about it. My teen romantic comedy Snafu. D, but like better than those two. Because it's also not great. And I slogged through the first season and could not get to the second season. Because the second season also isn't available anywhere to stream. High Dive has the first season. Nowhere has the second season. And Crunchyroll has the third season exclusively. So... it's dumb. I can't stand that. To Golden's point, Weathering with You. Easy S tier, but I can't justify putting it above these two. But it is an S tier movie. And if you haven't seen Weathering with You, you're doing yourself a disservice and you need to go watch it. Because it's an incredible movie. I think it's Shinkai's best movie. But that's just me personally because I have a very strong emotional attachment to it. So that's pretty cool. Pretty neat and cool. I love Weathering with You. I could go on about it for hours, but I won't. Another movie that's about water, Ride Your Wave. I think that was a pretty solid B tier. It was all right. It took me 2 watches to kind of fully understand and grasp and enjoy it. which is wild. But it's a Science Saru movie who also did Don Da Don. Speaking of which, not to like get sidetracked here a little bit, I did start Don Da Don yesterday. First episode was phenomenal. If you haven't watched Don Da Don, you should. Blue Box also came out yesterday, but I'm going to watch that tonight. I have not had a chance to watch it yet. So, yeah. I'm going to be watching Blue Box tonight. I've heard the first episode is really good, and I've read the manga, so I know it's really good, but I haven't watched it yet. So I'm excited to watch it, though. Kaguya-sama Love is War, the first kiss that never ends. I mean, I'm not going to put it in double S, even though it's really just a continuation of what the series does. I will put it in S, though, because it's the best. It's a phenomenal arc, and I was shocked that they did a cliffhanger for the anime onlys with where the movie ends. I thought they were going to go into it a little more, and then they didn't. So, I'm shocked, but maybe one day they'll do a season 4. One can only hope. All right, Demon Slayer. All right, chat. Is Mugen Train on here separately? It is. It's down there. Okay. I knew Mugen. I had a feeling Mugen Train was on here. All right, Demon Slayer. Are y'all ready for this? Demon Slayer is going up here in S, dog. Demon Slayer is an S tier anime. I don't care who wants to get on here and say, oh, it's carried by animation. Okay, if it's carried by animation, then explain why the manga was selling incredible before the anime. The manga continues to sell incredibly after the anime. And it's one of the highest rated anime on Crunchyroll. And it's surpassed One Piece, actually, in terms of ratings on Crunchyroll. And the last 3 finales of Demon Slayer have all simultaneously shut down Crunchyroll. I'm just saying, dude. There's a lot more to Demon Slayer than carried by animation. Is the animation gorgeous? Yes, 100%. Ufotable does incredible work with the animation. But here's the thing. The animation is elevating the story. The story is already incredible. The story is already great. And I think to minimize Demon Slayer down to just being carried by animation means you're discrediting all of the incredible story, all of the incredible characters. And 9 times out of 10, when that argument is brought up, it's in comparison to Jujutsu Kaisen or One Piece or other shows of that caliber, other big shonen action shows. And I don't think that's fair, because Demon Slayer is not trying to be Jujutsu Kaisen. It's not trying to be One Piece. It's not trying to be My Hero. It's trying to be Demon Slayer. And it's incredibly good at being Demon Slayer. And I also think a lot of hate for Demon Slayer is because it's popular. People don't want to like the popular thing. And it's very... People like being controversial by being contrarians. They like opposing the popular thing for the sake of opposing the popular thing, even if they themselves watch it. Because if you look at a lot of Demon Slayer haters, they will hate this show to the ends of the earth, but then they will still watch every single episode, every single Sunday it drops. And I guarantee you those haters will be there day one when the Infinity Castle movies come out, solely so that they can hate on the movies. Demon Slayer hate is so forced. It is so forced and carried solely by the One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen fans, because One Piece fans are honestly some of the most insecure people I've ever met. Because if One Piece truly is as good as you say it is, you would not be as scared and threatened by Demon Slayer that you would be. Like, I'm just saying, I think that, and it's like a draft in my tweets somewhere. I haven't actually tweeted it. But I genuinely believe that the reason One Piece fans don't like Demon Slayer is because it's the first anime in a long time to challenge the sheer popularity and cultural recognition of One Piece. And I think we need to start saying it's okay for these two shows to coexist. We can have both. maybe One Piece is good. I don't know. I've never watched it, so I'm trying to like dial back how much I say about it. I'm just speaking on my interactions as a Demon Slayer fan interacting with One Piece fans. And what I think is, I don't know. It's just annoying that in order to praise one show, we have to tear down another show. A show cannot just stand on its own merits. It has to be better than. Like, One Piece cannot stand on its own merits. I'm sure it can. You don't go 1,000 episodes and 1,000 chapters without doing something right. Right? But One Piece can't just stand on its own. Demon Slayer can't just stand on its own. Jujutsu Kaisen can't just stand on its own. It has to be compared to something. So, which I will loop back around to when I talk about Jujutsu Kaisen later on, because that's another thing I want to loop back on. But yeah, Demon Slayer is S. The only thing holding it back from double S is not having the movies yet. I don't think the movies are going to be bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think the movies are going to be very massive, and it's hard because you're like encapsulating the whole of the series. You know what I mean? So Demon Slayer's in S for now. We'll see where the rest of it goes. Before I move on, let me read chat because some of these are Demon Slayer related. Max says Demon Slayer's double S. TC, Demon Slayer is one of my favorites. Golden, Demon Slayer is phenomenal. So many unwanted flashbacks from Silver Comet. I can understand that, but I also think the flashbacks are a quintessential part of Demon Slayer because it shows the humanity of the demons. Like, it doesn't try to excuse their actions. It tries to tell you why they went that way. And I think that's a very powerful thing in the sense of bad people are bad people, right? Like, if you murder someone, well, yeah, you're a murderer. Like, there are consequences for that action, but there also may be an aspect there of like what led you down that path, because maybe you just made a couple bad decisions, or you just had a really bad day. Like, what was it? The bongo drum demon was like, he just wanted to make really good music, and then life circumstances put him in a really dark place, and Muzan manipulated that and turned him into a demon, right? And that was kind of what the flashbacks were trying to show. Or Han Tengu in the Swordsmith Village arc was like a blind guy, and he like did all these bad things but didn't really understand why. And it's just and it's meant to contrast of like when people go through hard things, because they really contrast that between how Muzan handles that and how Ubuyashiki handles that. Because if you look at someone like Gyome, who went like his backstory and everything he went through, if he ended up with Muzan, probably would have become a demon. But because he met Ubuyashiki, who hit him with this like overwhelming kindness and like, hey, I know you didn't do that, let me give you a second chance type thing, that is what that's meant to parallel. And it's meant to show both. So I can understand the side of like, well, they should have shown it earlier. Yeah. But I think they also lean into the whole like life flashing before your eyes when you die type thing. So it could go either way. Ironically, it's popular to hate the popular things. Yes. My fiance hated Demon Slayer until I made her watch it. Only saw the first episode before then. Yeah, that's how most people are. For me, Demon Slayer is good, but because I've seen so much anime, it's just not that unique. I'm at the point where something has to really stick out for me to be thoroughly impressed. That's fair. That's fair. When you've seen a lot, it takes a lot to, like, really get up there. So, moving on. We've got Hell's Paradise. F. I couldn't even finish the first season. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was that good. I hated the plot and the premise, and it was dumb. What I do think was funny, though, is I was watching it dub, and the main two characters share the same English dub actors as Miyamura and Hori from Horimiya. So to see them like flip this role and essentially do this back and forth is kind of wild. So Hell's Paradise, not a big fan. Another one from this year, No Longer Allowed in Another World. I'll give it a B tier. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I got 3 more episodes before I'm done with the first season, but so far, I think it's fun. It's really funny. Like, maybe the hardest I've laughed with an isekai in a while. So it's good. You guys should check it out. It's pretty fun, pretty low key on the fan service. And when I say low key, I mean like not a ton. It's pretty tolerable, and even the ones that are in there, it's like it doesn't bother me. So, a movie I just watched for the first time last night. Howl's Moving Castle. Now, as I've told you guys, I'm pretty hit or miss on Studio Ghibli movies. Liked Castle in the Sky. Didn't like Boy and the Heron. Liked Princess Mononoke. Didn't like Spirited Away. Howl's Moving Castle gets A tier. I really enjoyed Howl's Moving Castle. I think I don't know what it was. There was something about the plot that just engrossed me in this story, and the world was really cool, and the magic was really cool, and I really liked Howl and Sophie. And I liked the romance aspect that was there. And I think I looked at it yesterday as I was watching it because I went and saw it in the theater with a friend. And as I was watching Howl's Moving Castle, like the physical thing, his moving castle, it was just astonished me that castle was hand drawn. Or if it was CG, it looked really freaking good for CG. And it just like, it boggled my mind that that big of a moving castle was hand animated by someone to move like that. And it was phenomenal. And it was a 2-hour-long movie. But I was like engrossed the whole time. And I was like, I don't want this to be over. I'm loving this. I think this is great. Dude. It was good. I'm going to do a video on it. I'm going to script the video this weekend, I think. I'm definitely going to do a video on it because it stuck out to me and I enjoyed it so much. And now I want to get the Blu-ray so I can own it. TC of the Ghibli movies, I've seen Howl's Moving Castle is my favorite so far. Yeah. I think Red Moon, Blood Moon. I think it also came out as a Hollywood movie too. Lots of people loved it while having no idea that it was an anime and manga. It was way before now with anime being popular and mainstream. Yes. Came out in 2005. Or no, I think it was 2004. So, yeah. I found out Howl's Moving Castle is based on a British novel. Yeah, I've seen the novel in the bookstore every time I go. Because they put it out with the Ghibli stuff. Because like Books A Million, or at least my Books A Million, has a like little mini Ghibli display. And the Howl's Moving Castle book is there. So, I think that's pretty cool. I enjoyed Howl's Moving Castle. Gets an A tier. Okay, I put these two together. To every you I've loved before, and to me, the one who loved you, I'm going to keep these movies together because they're a double pack, and I talked about that in a video. I think they both get to go in B tier because I need to get them both up there because they're better than this one. They're a double pack because they're such interesting anime movies because they dive into the multiverse in a way that has never been dove into before. And I just really appreciate that for what it is. And I don't want to say too much because I'll end up spoiling it. But it's really good. and really worth the watch if you have the time. They're both on Crunchyroll. I would watch the pink one first and then the blue one, just because I feel like the pink one better explains the multiversal concept. So then when you go to watch the blue one, you have a somewhat fundamental understanding of what's happening with that. So, at least that's my humble opinion. So, moving on, we have Bubble, which is, I'll say it's C. It was all right. It was a retelling of The Little Mermaid. It came out the same year as Belle, so it was interesting to see two anime movies that are reinterpretations of Disney movies, which are reinterpretations of the original, like Grimm's fairy tale. And it was all right. I liked the music, and I think the animation was pretty, but the movie overall was kind of all right. Garden of Words, I'll give it, I'll give it a C tier. It's, again, not Shinkai's best work. Very interesting that he chose like a high schooler and a teacher to go down the romance path with that one. So it was all right. I need to give it another watch, but I feel like at the very end, the way the student-teacher stuff turned out kind of turned me off. Over the Sky is D. It's just Weathering with You, but the knockoff version, the plot is virtually the same. Next up, we have A Whisker Away. I'll give that C. It was all right. It was a fun premise, and I think the thing that was funnier about it for me was half the English cast of A Whisker Away is just the Persona dub cast, specifically like Persona 5. And I just thought that was funny because it was like all the Persona characters basically interacting with each other, and that was kind of funny. So, that's what I have to say about that. A Condition Called Love. This is one that came out this year, and I got, I think, halfway through the first season, and I dropped it because I was bored, and I didn't really care for it. Yeah, not my fave. I've reached a point where I'm like, I don't have time to watch everything. I don't have time to watch every anime that comes out, and if I'm not enjoying it, I'm going to drop it. So, Violet Evergarden, the movie, I'll give it like mid B, because it kind of pulls some emotions out of me towards the end. It was a long movie, I'll tell you that, but it did definitely draw out some emotions toward the end, which is very hard for movies to do that. So I'll put it in B. We'll take that. We take those. All right, Makaine. I know Jam was talking about this one. I'm gonna give it A. I'm really enjoying this one this season. It's fun. It's different. Yes, it's a high school romance, but it's different. All the girls are very cool and enjoyable and endearing, and it's nice that they're like not boy obsessed, but they're still girls. Like, they still want boyfriends. They still want to go out on dates and get all pretty and do all the girly stuff, and it's just, they're fun. And the MC is really funny too. I like him, and I think the series as a whole is very funny. So, you're reading the novel? Is it good? Yo, Janice is here! She made it to the stream! Let's go! Welcome to the stream. We still got a decent chunk, so like you didn't miss much. Austin's here too. Let's go. Yeah, we still got a decent chunk, so you guys are late, but we still got a lot. So and honestly, we haven't even got to some pretty heavy hitters. So, yeah. So as I was saying, what was I talking about? Oh, Makaine. It's fun. It's good. Josie the Tiger and the Fish. I'll give it a B. It was good. It's a little sappy. I'll move it up. It, you know, it was all right. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Sorry, I got distracted by chat. My chat rate has spiked. Okay. The quintessential quintuplets movie. B. It's worse than the show. Because. Okay. Spoilers for the quintessential quintuplets movie. So if you haven't seen that, just turn the volume down and I'll give you a crazy hand wave when I'm done. Yotsuba was the wrong choice for the final girl to win. No. Anybody tries to justify it, they're like, oh, but it was a good move because she was the one foreshadowed the whole time. No, she was not. Get out of here. The main guy had more chemistry with Nino and what was the other girl's name? Itsuki? Was it the youngest one? It was Nino. No. Was it Nino? No, Nino's the one I don't like. What's the name? Miku, right? I think. Hold on. Yes, Miku and Itsuki were the ones I think he had the most chemistry with. And the one he should have ended up with. But that's not what happened. He went with Yotsuba, who he arguably spent the least amount of time with throughout the entire series. Miku's best girl, by the way. She can cook. She can clean. That sounds really bad. Let me finish. She's a really good character. And she has like this consistent drive to want to improve. And she's also like super fun to be around. So, I don't know, man. I'm still mad about that. I'm still upset about that. It's hard. It's sad. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Oh, it's so hard to rank JoJo's because all of the parts are so different. Like, you can't just do like one size fits all JoJo's. You know what I mean? You can't just do one size fits all JoJo's. Janice, I'm glad you're here at this point, by the way, because we still haven't done Attack on Titan yet. So you kind of came in right at the perfect time because we're about to hit Attack on Titan. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I'm going to give A tier because I really love JoJo's. I haven't finished part 6 yet, though. And I think part 3, 4, and 5 hard carry JoJo's. Part 2 is okay. Part 1 is mediocre at best. It's iconic as a classic, and so is part 2. But part 1 is just kind of, it's all right. It's all right. It's kind of like the foundation. Like, you got to start somewhere. You got to put some foundation on it, and then you can build up from there. And that's what part 2 is. But I think once you get to part 3, 4, 5, and then later on 6, because you switch power systems to the stands, then the stands switch after part 3, because in part 3 you switch from all of the stands being named after different tarot cards to, well, now they're just musical references. They're references to different bands, which is crazy. So, JoJo's is good. The art style is a little wacky. It's kind of out there. You just got to turn your brain off and watch it. You can't get too crazy. That's a hard word. El errante de internet. Hello. I hope I said that right. I only took Spanish for 2 years. So yeah, I'll put JoJo's in A. That's fair. Saint Cecilia and Pastor Lawrence is going to get a pretty high B because it's a fun anime. It's fun, wholesome, no fan service, very cute, just good vibes, pretty funny. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Yeah, JoJo Sand stopped being named after tarot cards because Araki ran out of tarot cards. There's only so many tarot cards, and he ran out. And he was like, okay, well, let's switch to musical references then. So, I get it. I understand. He's so real for that. So, I heard JoJo's kind of goes off the deep end after part 6. And I'm interested to see that. Have I done Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood yet? No. Full Metal Alchemist is right here. We still got 2 full rows to go before we get to FMA. We're about to get to OG FMA, but we're still a little ways away from Brotherhood. He admitted that all of them are on his playlist that he plays while he draws the panels. He's so real for that. Dude, let him cook, okay? Rascal Does Not Dream of a Knapsack Kid, I think is what this one is called. I think I gave it A last time. I'll give it bottom of A because I really appreciated this one because it did a lot with Sakata, and I feel like he had not gotten a lot of direct development and screen time. Like, yes, he's been there the whole time as the main character, but it was kind of like his development was in the background, whereas this brought it to the forefront. So I really appreciated that, and I thought it was good. And they did a lot of stuff with his mom, and that kind of hit deep for me. All right, My Hero Academia. I want you guys to know that it's going in double S, but only because of Season 7. If Season 7 was not as good as it has been and looks like it will finish off strong with a new episode tomorrow and then another like banger episode next week to close out the season, it would be down an S with Demon Slayer. But Bones really stepped it up with Season 7 and has adapted some of my favorite stuff impeccably well. And I'm very excited because next weekend I want to do a stream like Saturday night. So like normal time, but after the final episode comes out, and go through and talk about Season 7. Because I have so many thoughts and I was going to do a video, but I don't have the turnaround time to get it in a video. So I'm going to do it as a stream. Because then also like I can discuss with you guys, and we'll probably talk about the movie too because the movie comes out next week. But I'll dedicate a section of that, and we'll figure it out. But Season 7 has been phenomenal. My Hero Academia is another anime that gets a lot of unnecessary hate. Like, My Hero hate is so forced, dude. And I'm sick of pretending that My Hero is a bad show. Not that I've ever done that. But everyone's like, My Hero's overrated. Shut up. Go back to watching Jujutsu Kaisen, okay? And what frustrates me a lot is that people compare My Hero to Jujutsu Kaisen, and I don't think that is a fair comparison. Because My Hero is trying to be this lighthearted, not lighthearted, but like this optimistic, hopeful action shonen. And then Jujutsu Kaisen leans more on the nihilistic side of like doom and gloom and everything sucks and the world is a dark and dreary place, but also an action shonen. And people see the action shonen part and they're like, yes! I think that's the best part we should focus on. And not the fact that these are two very different story styles and story genres. And I don't know. I just don't think My Hero should be lumped in that category because it's not. It's incredibly great at what it does. And I don't think it gets enough recognition for that. The first 2 seasons are solid. The first 3 seasons are solid. I'm not a big fan of the provisional licensing exam. But aside from that, season 3 is pretty solid. Season 4, banger, dude. Overhaul arc and the Culture Festival arc. Don't let anybody tell you that the Culture Festival arc is filler. That's fake news propaganda put up by the Jujutsu Kaisen fans. Season 5, the story of Season 5 is good. I'm not super satisfied with how they handle the adaptation of it and where all of the resources got spent and how things were prioritized. I don't agree with that. But it was all right. Season 6, again, not super happy with how, because the war arc is great. It's a great arc. The first war arc is. The second one is great too. The first war arc, though, I'm not super satisfied with how that got adapted. It's still good, and I rewatched it recently because I rewatched the whole series to get like lead up to season 7 and even to the end of the manga. And I wasn't happy with how that turned out because there's a lot of, like, they put a lot of emphasis on the Mirko fight at the beginning and then, like, no emphasis on the Deku and Shigaraki fight. And it was just a mismanagement of the priority of where things should be. And it wasn't a super consistent season. And then they get to season 7. And almost every single episode of season 7, for me personally, has been a 4 to a 5 star. There have been a couple 3.5, but there have only been like 4.5, 5 star episodes every single time because they're just knocking this adaptation out of the park. They're killing it, and I'm so happy. Which is why My Hero Academia is in double S. Obviously, I'm a little biased because of my emotional attachment to the series, and you got to keep that in mind with this entire list. It's all my preferences. I'm not like sitting here saying being the objective teller of truth. But My Hero is a phenomenal story, and I don't think people give it enough credit for that because it has an incredible commentary on essentially capitalizing on heroism and how heroism is this commodity, and what happens when you turn that into a job and people start only doing it for the money and it's not about saving people. And that's where Deku comes in, is like he reformed hero society by being a hero who wanted to save people. He was never in it for the money, just like All Might. He was never in it for the money. He was always about saving people. And that's what frustrates me, is people don't understand that about his character, especially when it came to the ending. People were, dude, I won't spoil anything, but just the amount of misunderstanding that people have done of Deku as a character, of all the characters. Like, people misunderstand Bakugo and Uraraka, and it just baffles my mind that people have no media literacy when it comes to My Hero. And My Hero doesn't deserve the hate it gets. It really doesn't. It truly does not deserve the hate it gets. And it's, I don't know. It's frustrating. So, people don't understand the ending because they read the fake leaks and translations and not the officials, and still don't understand it. And that's part of the problem. So, that's all I'll say for My Hero. I could say more, but I'll save most of it for next week. Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out, I will also put in A tier because as someone who has a younger sister, this hit different. And it hit hard. So, that's all I'll say about that. OG Full Metal Alchemist. I will say it's high B. Because it's great when it's following the manga, and then it kind of goes off the rails towards the end. When they do their own original thing, and like, I don't know. I put out that short about how Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is a perfect anime, which we'll get back to that. And a lot of people in the comments were like, oh, the OG 2003 is better. And I'm like, what? You're going to tell me that the thing that does an original thing instead of following the source material, you know, like most anime is supposed to do, is better than Brotherhood? No. That's crazy. So, it's good. I think if you like Brotherhood, you should watch it, but you should probably watch Brotherhood first. And that's just me. So, that's what I have to say about that. All right, Attack on Titan. Where are all my Discord people at? I'm about to make you all mad. For those who don't know, I'm in a Discord server with a bunch of my friends, and they all hate Attack on Titan. None of them like Attack on Titan. And that's tragic, because what you don't understand is, and I'm not saying that, like, I thought I was going to say this as, like, I thought I was going to say this as a joke, right? But the more I think about it, and the more I ruminate on it, and the more I look at it, Attack on Titan is genuinely one of the greatest anime ever made. And I don't, and the arguments you guys have brought against it is, well, Aaron's a crybaby, and he never got over his mom dying. Big freaking whoop, dude. His mom was eaten by a Titan in front of him. What are you talking about? I get it. And this guy, you guys also have to understand, because of the lore of Attack on Titan, Aaron knew all of that was going to happen. And dude, Attack on Titan is great. And I will not let you guys sit here and goat me into thinking that it's not. You almost had me. I was close. I was close to getting on the bandwagon and be like, you know what, Attack on Titan is kind of mid. No, not even close. Do you know what ruined the perception of Attack on Titan? How Mappa and Production IG handled the final season. That's what killed Attack on Titan, was how it was this consistent, well, final season part 2, final season part 3, final season, the final chapter is part 1, final season, the final chapter is part 2, final season, the final chapter, final season, the final last attack, or whatever. It was this insane stretching out of the final season is what ruined it, because there were like year-long gaps between the episodes too. Because I remember I binged and caught up with Attack on Titan seasons 1 through 3, and I thought, dude, Attack on Titan is incredible. It's got phenomenal action. The story is deep and complex, and probably the most complex thing I've ever watched. And I love it for that, because I'm not a big, like, sometimes I do like my more simple, straightforward shows like Demon Slayer and My Hero. But then there are times when I want a deeper show like Attack on Titan that makes me think and makes you put 2 and 2 together. And I really appreciate that. And I want you guys to know that you telling me Attack on Titan is bad has further pushed me to recognize how incredible it is. So you guys have done this. This is of your own creation. Because I went back and I watched like some of the fights. And I went back and watched some of like the story. Dude. It's peak. It's peak. What can I say? But yeah. Terry, I don't know what you're talking about. I've glanced through the manga, and the only thing they changed between season 3 and the final season was studios. Which, also, hot take, I prefer Studio Wit at Attack on Titan to Studio Mappa. Like, not even close. I think Wit did incredible work. But also, seeing what was coming, if you've looked at the source material, I can understand why they dropped it. I can understand why they were like, we ain't got the time to handle that. We're passing it off. We're passing the torch. Passing on the Titan power, if you will. So, but yeah, Mappa incredibly stretching out, because it was, see, the first bit of the final season was like December 2020 to March 2021. And then after that, it was what? Like January 2022 to, I don't know, June or something. Like, it was a really short run for Attack on Titan again. And then we got the first special at the end of 2022. And then we waited almost another full year for the second special. Or no, I'm sorry. We got the first special in March. And then we waited a full another, like, 9 months to get the other final chapter. And it's ridiculous how they paced that out. I want to go back and rewatch Attack on Titan now that it's finished so I can skip over that. Because I read the manga because I didn't want to wait. Like, after they didn't finish it with the final season part 2, which was supposed to be the end, I was like, oh, no. I'm just going to read it. I'm not waiting. And honestly, the ending's not that bad either. Like, everyone who's like, oh, Attack on Titan is... You just... Listen. Cry me a river, build a bridge, and get over it. Moving on. Okay? Because we still have a lot to get to. And we're almost at 3 hours. Can we do it sub 4? I don't know. Because there's some pretty... I got thoughts. Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen's like next too. Oh my goodness. Most similar animated with Attack on Titan is Claymore, surprisingly. Despite being completely different, Claymore reveals a lot of spoiler concepts in AOT. If you like AOT and Demon Slayer, check it out. I have it on my list to watch because someone else recommended it to me. Maybe it was you in a comment on a video, but if not, someone else also said that. That's the whole saying? What did I say? Oh, the Cry Me a River, build a bridge, and get over it? Yeah, that's the whole saying. Cry me a river, build a bridge, and get over it. Okay, what is this show about? Kubo won't let me be invisible? I'll give it bottom of B. All right, Jujutsu Kaisen. See, here's a problem. This includes hidden inventory. So how much does hidden inventory save the rest of this godforsaken show? I'm going to say it saves it from D, but not by much. Because here's the thing. Here's my... Let me give my piece about Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay? This is also not a popular opinion. Jujutsu Kaisen is mid. Okay? Because. Does it have flashy fights? Yes. Is it well animated? Yes. Does it have cool character designs? Yes. Does it have a great power system? Yes. You know what it doesn't have? Any concept of a story. Any concept of a story that means anything outside of the fighting. Fights mean nothing. Fights are just people smacking each other for no reason. Or it's like, oh, I don't like your hair. Bah! And then they're going to fight. What? And like I said earlier with Jujutsu Kaisen 0, I don't think Yuji's a great protagonist. I really don't. Because most of the first season, he spends getting outshined by other people in his own show. Like, I genuinely think Yuji is outshined by Nobara, Megumi, and Gojo. Specifically Gojo. Like, Gojo should have been the main character. Because and I know he's not, because Geija hates Gojo. And like, that's crazy. And yes, to your point, Terry, Yuji is carried by Sukuna. It's not even Yuji that people want to see. They want to see Sukuna. Because he's cool. He's a strong bad guy who does bad guy things for the sake of being a bad guy. Like, people want to see Sukuna and Gojo fight. That's it. That's it. They don't care about Yuji. They don't care about Yuji. So, Yuji also, I feel like, doesn't have a reason to be the protagonist. Like, yeah, he ate the cursed, he ate the Sukuna finger, right? Finger looking good, yeah. But the only reason he keeps going is because he's like, well, I'm going to fight so that I can choose how I die. What? What? So Yuji's gonna die, is what you're saying from the get-go. And it's like, no, Gojo's trying to make a new perfect society. No, what? No. Like I said, I already aired a lot of my grievances with Jujutsu when I was talking about Zero, but I don't think the main series is any better. And the first season is kind of odd, and the Shibuya arc is not great. I legitimately, I finished season 2, but I dropped Jujutsu Kaisen after the Shibuya arc because it made me so unbelievably angry. Because in back-to-back episodes, we lost Nanami and Nobara. Back-to-back. And that was incredibly frustrating. Now say, oh, well, Jujutsu Kaisen has stakes and people die, and My Hero doesn't because nobody dies. And I'm like, okay, thank you for acknowledging your very surface level understanding of media literacy and the concept of stakes. Because there's a lot of things at stake that don't necessarily have to be death. Yes, 9 times out of 10 in a story, death is always on the line. Death is always the underlying stake of if you don't win this fight, you are going to die. But if death is the only stake, there's not much else I'm invested in. Because if you don't care about the character, you don't care if they die or not. And Jujutsu doesn't give you enough time to get attached to characters. They will literally kill that character off 2 minutes after you met them for the sake of shock value. And I've seen that complaint labeled against Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan does that too. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. Attack on Titan, even if it's just for one whole episode, gives you ample time to get connected to a character, even if you know full well that they're going to die. But 9 times out of 10, when Attack on Titan kills a character, it's a character that you've been attached to, and you're like, oh, well, I'm upset that that character died. Like when Aaron's mom died, you understand, like, oh, I don't know a lot about Aaron's mom, but I understand this is a big deal because that's his mom. And that she didn't want this to happen either. Whereas when you look at someone like Nobara, right? Her death was not foreshadowed at all. We really haven't been attached to her that much, right? And then she just dies. But she doesn't die because they're like, well, she died, but she could still be alive because she's not like, and then they put her in this like state of limbo. And then you have this other really cool character in Toto who can do the boogie woogie clap and switch. And then infighting Mahito, who's just a Shigaraki knockoff, by the way. Don't even get me started about that. Toto's trying to do the cool boogie woogie with Mahito and then loses a hand. And he can't use his cool power anymore. So now you've sidelined yet another really cool character. And it's like, okay, that's neat. And then Gojo gets trapped in the box, which locks away the other cool character. Nanami gets killed, which locks away another cool character. Megumi's just kind of there. He doesn't really do anything in the Shibuya arc. He fights a guy with Yuji, and then he fights that one guy who Nanami knocked out, and then he tries to fight, who does he try to fight? He fights, Maharaga. Or no, Maharaga is his thing. And then Maharaga fights Sukuna. So it's like Yuji versus Megumi. And it's so incredibly awful. And there's no semblance of storytelling. And like I said earlier, it's just frustrating that the best protagonist, Yuta, my main Yuta, got thrown to the side for no reason. So, I will say, I do really enjoy the hidden inventory arc. I think that's the best arc of the entire series because it does have everything that I said Jujutsu doesn't have. You get attached to characters, right? Even in the 3 episodes that you have Rico, you get attached to her really quickly. And she grows on you really quickly. So then when she dies, it hurts. especially because you're like, well, how is this going to affect Gojo and Geto? Because you want her to be happy. And same for the maid lady. Kaoru, I think. Kaoru is her name? You want her to be happy. And you want them to be happy together. Because you want her to be more than just a tool of jujitsu. And that doesn't happen. And that hurts. And that's where that realism comes in of like, well, not everybody gets to live. And I'm okay with that. It's just, I don't know. The rest of jujitsu is frustrating. I'm gonna stop myself there because I'm gonna make a video about it later on. And also, we're going on 3 hours, and I haven't even made a dent in that. So let's blow through some of these here. Attack on Titan Junior High, D tier. It was all right. Seven Deadly Sins, F tier. Don't even make me talk about this show. This is terrible. This is a terrible show. Has been, always will be. Code Geass. I'll give Code Geass a pretty solid A tier. I think the first season is incredibly strong. Excuse me. The first half of the second season is really good. And then, or I'm sorry. No, my bad. I said that wrong. The first season is really good. The first half of the second season is kind of mid. And then the second half of the second season is really good. It like picks back up. So I think Code Geass is great. If you haven't watched it, you should. My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. Pretty solid romance anime, I'm not going to lie. Another one of those, oh, it's going to get outside of the high school setting, and I appreciated that. Dragon Ball Z, I got to give it slightly better. It's better than Jujutsu Kaisen, I'll tell you that. But not by much. Because the pacing in Dragon Ball Z is awful. And very frustrating. One Punch Man, I will give One Punch Man, because I've only seen season 1. I'll give it middle of B. I think One Punch Man's really good. I like the concept of One Punch. I need to watch the second season, though. That I have not seen. Ico Incarnation is a C tier. It was alright. It was kind of weird. It's kind of funky. Alright. Gurren Lagann. Dude. Double S better than My Hero. I said it. Gurren Lagann is peak. I just finished my rewatch yesterday, and initially I didn't like the ending because it caught me so off guard. But the second time around, I was okay with it because I was expecting it. I knew it was coming, and I wasn't like I didn't get blindsided by it for no reason. But Gurren Lagann is a masterclass in the indomitable human spirit and the human desire to push on regardless of the circumstances. And another one I'm going to make a video about because Gurren Lagann is a banger. Speaking of Gurren Lagann, guys, we got to get the Team Gurrens in chat for all the members, dude. Team Gurrens in chat, gang. So there's a reason that's an emote for the members because I love Gurren Lagann. It's also great because it is a solid 27 episode anime that tells its story start to finish in those 27 episodes. And I wish we did that more with more shows and didn't focus on franchising out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 seasons and just, hey, let's tell a really good, really solid story in 24 to 27 episodes and call it a day. And that's where we'll end. And we'll never make a sequel. And we'll never make a spinoff. We'll never make a movie. Like, it is what it is. And we call it a day. And people will say, well, we can't do that because nobody will remember the brand. Dude, people are still talking about Gurren Lagann. And it's, how many years old is Gurren Lagann? When did it come out? I think it came out 2008. When did it come out? 2007 was when the first episode came out. So you're telling me this anime that's almost 20 years old, right? Yeah, this 17-year-old anime, people are still talking about it. And you tell me that people don't remember stuff? I'm just saying. It became a classic with just 27 episodes, and that's it. So, it does have a movie. Yes, it does have a movie. I know they're comp movies, though, because they're compilation movies, but they also, like, slightly tweaked the ending. Because I know the ending of the movie is slightly different from the anime. Ultimately, it ends at the same place, but the final fight, like, it's here most of the time, and then for the final fight, it kind of breaks off for a little bit, and then it comes back together. I had a chance to go see the movies earlier this year when they dropped them in theaters again, but I didn't. Because they were only playing at, like, a theater 30 minutes away, and I didn't want to go 30 minutes away. I should have, but I didn't. So, speaking of mecha... Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. It's my favorite Gundam show, even though I've only seen 2 and a movie now. I'll give it A. I think IBO is really good. It's another one I want to rewatch because I feel like my first time around I binged through it way too quick. So, I appreciate IBO for what it is. Star Wars Visions was good, but the quality was rather hit or miss with every, like, back and forth. And I'm just talking about the first season here, because the second season was not as anime. So, I'll give it a C. How heavy are the dumbbells you lift? D. That was in my phase of, I'm going to watch every anime on Funimation, and I sure did try. A Sign of Affection, I'll give it a B. It was good. I enjoyed it. Kill la Kill, I will also give a B. Kill la Kill, I think, would be a lot better if it didn't have as much fan service, but I also understand fan service is kind of the core of Kill la Kill. So, Isekai Quartet, D tier, down here with Attack on Titan Junior High. Akame ga Kill, I will give a B here with Kill la Kill. I think it... Akame ga Kill did a better job with character deaths, but I think it reached a point where there was too many of them as you got towards the end. Like, it started off with Attack on Titan type deaths, and then by the end we got to Jujutsu Kaisen levels, and I was not okay with that. Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? Wow, that was a mouthful. I'll give it D. I remember watching this one way back when. It was all right. Not great. Fire Force? Honestly, I'll give Fire Force B. And I think Fire Force would be A if it didn't have as much fan service. And that seems to be a common trope here in B tier. B for be better about fan service. Because I hate that, like, Tamaki, the only reason she's in the anime is because she has to do fan service. Like, and that's her whole power, too, with the Lucky Lure or whatever, is she, like, just randomly strips down, and that's her power. It's like, okay. Oh, maybe you could have, like, made her power something else. Or done some, I don't know. Could have done it a little. So, it would be higher if not for that. But other than that, I think it's really solid. It has some great action. I enjoyed it when I watched it. Konosuba, I will give low A because it's really funny. I need to watch Season 3 because it just came out this year and I need to finish it. Probably one of my favorite isekai. Oh boy. Okay. I might get slaughtered in chat here. Cowboy Bebop, for me, is like mid C. I did not enjoy Cowboy Bebop. I really enjoyed the idea of Cowboy Bebop and having like this kind of space sci-fi, like Western type show. And I just did not care for it. I could not get into it to save my life. I watched all the way through and I finished it and I got to the end and I was like, okay, so that was a show that I watched. All right. Okay. And then I kind of moved on. So, I don't know. And I really only ever liked Spike and Jet. And those were the only two I liked. I didn't really care for any of the other characters. So, that's my piece about Cowboy Bebop. I was not a big fan. So, that's what I'll say. Psyche K, low C. It was alright. No Game, No Life. Shadow Realm. Get out of here, dude. Alright, we're closing in on only 3 rows left. Same for me, too old school. The space opera just didn't do it for me. Maybe if I saw it way earlier, I might have liked it better, but not when I did. Just too old school. Yeah, I usually don't have a problem with an anime being old school, but I don't know. Cowboy Bebop was not my fave. Alright, Sword Art Online. It's instantly going to be capped anywhere in the tier below where I put the movies. So we're looking at B tier at best. My problem with Sword Art Online is it kind of like dips, because those first 14 episodes, pretty solid. And then it dips down for the Fairy Dance arc. And then it dips down even further for Gun Gale. And then it dips down even further for whatever the Excalibur thing is. And then it dips down even further for the Yuki arc. The cancer patient girl. And it kind of like plateaus down there for a little bit. And then Alicization starts to bring it back up. And War of the Underworld brings it way back up. So it's like this, like Sword Art Online is this V graph of starts off great and then sinks down for a while and then comes back up and plateaus again. So it's hard to rate Sword Art Online because a majority of it is bad, but the stuff that is good is really good. So I don't know. I'm going to leave it I'll leave it in low B. And I'm okay with that. I think that's a fine place to put it. All right, 3 rows left, gang. Shield Hero, I'll put it in C. It's all right. I would watch it again over Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, Shield Hero was good. I could only watch the first 2 seasons, though. I never really had an interest in watching it after that. All right, Violet Evergarden can be B. I didn't really... It was all right. I don't know much to say about it. Tacto P Destiny had a lot of great concepts, and I think it was enjoyable. But it's not, like, super memorable, because I don't remember a lot about it. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, obviously double S tier. Like, top of double S tier, dude. I can't... Dude. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, greatest anime of all time. Not even close. Not even close. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Licorice Recoil, which is anime girl John Wick's. I'll put it there in C. Scissor 7, I will also put in C. What is that? The world's greatest assassin gets reincarnated as an aristocrat, I think. Hold on, let me pull this one up. Guys, this anime has some seriously unparalleled female character design, only for them to become a harem. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Because, like, you have unparalleled female character design, and you fumble by making it a harem. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Someone put it in D. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I talked positively about Cyberpunk Edge Runners in a video, but I personally didn't think it was that great. I didn't really care for it. Because it was an American anime. It was animated by Trigger, and Trigger did a phenomenal job. But it was definitely way too influenced by the West. Unlimited Millionaire Detective Club, or whatever it's called. I'll give that a solid C. I thought that one was good. I liked the concept. Spy Family. Dude, we got to put Spy Family up here in A tier, bro. I love me some Spy Family. And I understand that Spy Family is not for everyone. It's definitely for me, though. I love Spy Family. So, I'll put it in A. Ruby Ice Queendom, F. Dude, it's Persona 5, but as Ruby, which instantly makes it worse. Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch from Mercury. Ugh. I'm going to put it in D. Because it's Gundam. And Gundam's cool. But, like, it's Gundam and the girls are gay. And that's weird. Because your target demographic for Gundam is males. And you switch to a female protagonist. I don't know. I think Suletta is cool. She just don't hit the same as, like, Mikazuki from, you know, IBO. You know what I'm saying? So, I've also only seen the first half. Because they did, like, an odd break in between. And I never got back into it. I literally tried to watch it yesterday. After watching the Gundam movie. And I was like, no thank you. I have other things to watch. So, oh, dude. Evangelion. Here we go. Neon Genesis Evangelion is a terrible anime. And I don't care what you have to say. Because it is so confusing. Asuka hard carries Evangelion. And what frustrates me the most is I really like the premise of Evangelion. Of these robots that are fighting these giant, like, I don't know. I like the concept of a mecha anime, like Evangelion, that is more character-driven and character-focused. Because there are a lot of mecha that aren't character-driven and character-focused. And they're just like, oh, big mechs go punch. You know, like Transformers. And Evangelion has a lot of great character concepts, but then just doesn't follow up on any of them. And Shinji's really annoying. And like I said, the concept is great. I love the designs of the Eva suits. I think the Eva suits look dope as heck. If one day I got an Unit 1 like figure or Gunpla, that would be sick. I love the way Unit 1 looks. I think it looks awesome. I love Asuka as a character, but everything else about Evangelion sucks. And I also, Evangelion bothers me because for a long time I was like, oh, Evangelion's like the Christian anime because it has angels and they talk about God and Adam and they have crosses everywhere. And when the angels explode, they turn into crosses. And like, there's all this Christian symbolism in it. And like, oh, it's the Christian anime. And it's not. And the more I watch it and the more I study it to do a video, the more I'm like, no, this is a blatant mockery of what Christianity is. Masquerading itself as being a Christian-esque anime, it's mockery and blasphemy masquerading as something else. And that, in and of itself, is very frustrating. So, yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating. And I don't like Evangelion. I think it's too confusing. I don't know. Not for me. No way, Jose. Chainsaw Man, another one that I don't like. but I'd watch, no, I'd watch Evangelion over Chainsaw Man. Too violent, too meaningless, no, like, bad plot. Again, great concept of this guy whose head turns into a chainsaw. It's exactly the kind of wacky stuff I'd expect to see out of Japan, but it's just not great. I don't like Denji as a protagonist because he has no real motivation. He has no real drive. He's not, like, when you think about anime characters that inspire you, like Deku or Tanjiro or Edward Elric, you think of these characters that are pushing you and making you want to strive to do better and become a better person. Denji doesn't do that. He encourages you to actively be a worse version of yourself and be manipulated by the people around you. And that is incredibly dumb. And I don't like Chainsaw Man. So, 2 rows left. We're so close. All right, we got Bocce the Rock. I'm gonna put Bocce up in. I'm gonna put Bocce up in B. I think Bocce the Rock was pretty good. It's a fun, wholesome little anime girls doing cute things, doing a band type stuff. I'll take it. 86. 86 is great. If you don't like... Okay, here's what I'll say. For those of you in chat who don't like Attack on Titan, you should watch 86. Because it's very similar in a way to Attack on Titan. But I think it has a lot of the things that you don't like aren't in it. Like, all of the things you don't like about Attack on Titan are not in 86. But it's still like a very similar type show. So you should check. Oh, dude. Maximum Effort with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. My phone's about to die, so I have to go. Only 2 hours left till my shift ends, so I don't have much more to go. Have a blessed night. Thank you for doing the super chats and the membership. That is incredible. It means so much to me. Also, 3 super chats in 1 stream. That means a lot. Have a good night, man. You can always come and check out the VOD to see the last bit here. So, yeah. That's crazy. Have a good night, man. What was I talking about? What show was that? Oh, 86. Yeah, you should watch 86 if you don't like Attack on Titan. Might scratch that itch. Classroom of the Elite. I'm putting that junk in D tier, dog. I can't stand Classroom of the Elite. It's so pretentious and prides itself on being pretentious. And I don't know. It just sucks. Oshinoko, though? I'm comfortable giving Oshinoko pretty high A. Especially with everything they've been cooking in Season 2. Dude, Aka Akasaka don't miss on this tier list, bro. Double S, S tier, and an A. He's killing it. He's killing it right now. Oshinoko's solid. Another one, I just said it like a bajillion times already. One I will have a video on in the future. Because I want to talk about Oshinoko more. Persona 5, the animation, it's going in Shadow Realm. I hate this anime so much because it butchers the incredible story from Persona 5. And that should be a crime against humanity. Mushoku Tensei... I just did a whole video about this one, and I'm conflicted on where to put it. I'm going to put it in C and call it a day. And if you want to know why, go watch my video. I'm conflicted on Mushoku Tensei. Anohana, I'll put it in B solely because it almost made me cry. Oh no, my camera died. Hold on. Oh, that was the wrong button. No. Okay, we are so back. I didn't see the little battery light on my camera because of the way the screen is cropped, and it usually pops up like right here, right outside the thing. So I didn't even see that go off. So, but it's okay. I have a backup battery fully charged specifically for that because I knew this stream was going to run long. So, Okay, what was I saying? What show was I talking about? Oh, Anohana. One of the rare anime that almost made me cry because the whole premise of the anime is essentially a situation I lived through in real life. So it pulled up a lot of memories of that and was very relatable. So I think Mashoko is objectively an A, but a lot of the stuff that happens can make it uncomfortable to watch. Yeah, that's pretty... Yeah. See, all of that drags it down for me, though, which is why I put it in C. Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead, another show that needs another season, but it won't get it because the hype got killed because the production schedule was so scuffed. But it's really good. I tried reading the manga and I couldn't get into it, so I just stuck with the anime. But I think it's really fun, and it was really enjoyable what I did watch. Scott Pilgrim Takes on the World, or Fights the World, something like that. I'll put it in C. A lot of people didn't like it because it wasn't a one-to-one adaptation of the anime, or not the anime, the graphic novel, which is interesting because we've already had multiple different adaptations of that thing. So, like, maybe go watch that thing. Ame Warrior at the Borderline is a D. It was Sonic, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Amy Rose in a mech suit, which for some people that might be all you need to hear, but for me that was not enough to get it out of D tier. Mashal, I think Mashal is a pretty high A. I enjoy Mashal. I think Mashal's pretty sick. But that's all I have to say. Not Haruhi Suzumiya, bro. I can't stand Haruhi Suzumiya, dude. I can't stand her as a character. I couldn't stand the show. The Endless Seven made me want to jump off a bridge. No. 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 Not even going to give Haruhi Suzumiya the time of day. She's a terrible protagonist. Terrible show. Awful. And that's all you get out of me. Not talking. I'm not giving her any more time a day. Death Note? This is hard. I want to give Death Note S. Nah, Death Note gets S. It was good. Death Note was like one that people really, really, really hyped up. Oh, well, TC, it was nice as having you for a member for a day. But yeah, Death Note really hyped up and then lived up to that expectation that I had set for it. And it was so good. Even in the second half, when like that big twist happens and everything kind of gets changed up, I thought it was going to fall off. And I was like, oh, it's not going to be as good. And then it was great. So I still enjoyed it. Death Note's an S. That's easy S. Vivi, Floret Eyes song is probably comfortable C. It was enjoyable. And it was fun. Buddy Daddies, I will give B, because I think that's another one that was pretty fun and enjoyable, and shockingly not gay. So what can I say? Solo Leveling is I'll give it a B. Solo was good. Yeah, Solo was good. Tower of God? Okay. Tower of God is hard because the story of Tower of God alone is phenomenal. It's goated. But the animation of the second season has not been living up to that. So I'm going to pretend that the second season animation doesn't exist and give Tower of God an A. Because I think it's really good. And I appreciate it. So, that's just me, though. Freerun is going to get a pretty high A. Because Freerun was really good and enjoyable. And another one I'm going to do a video on. I have so many videos in the works, guys. Just trust me. Freerun is good. Delicious in Dungeon? I'll give that a high B. I'll give Delicious a high B. I enjoyed it. It's great. It's all about why anime food looks so good. I'll give Delicious, dude. Delicious is good. It's great. You guys should watch it. This Sword Art Online comp movie, Shadow Realm, Kaiju number 8, I think is gonna go in A, but behind Tower of God. I really liked Kaiju. I think Kaiju was fun. It's up there for my anime of the year. I can't wait to get to the end of the year and do a tier list on all of the anime from this year and see how that changes. So we'll see how that goes. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, all right, we're down to the wire here, team. Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale. Ordinal Scale was pretty solid. Oh no, I'm starting to lose my voice. This is not great because I'm supposed to record videos tomorrow. I'll put it slightly above SAO proper because Ordinal Scale was pretty good. Windbreaker, I'll say was in... Yo! Windbreaker's a B. Honestly, pretty solid. Brayden, leader of the Turkins, with the 1999 super chat. Hey, evening. What's up, Brayden? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the 1999 super chat, dude. What the heck? Where are all these super chats coming from? I didn't think it would... You guys are awesome. And I appreciate that so much. I'm gonna cut out my reaction to all of the super chats and post it on Twitter. Cause it's just so funny. How was my day? It was good. Better now that I'm here. Even though I've been here for almost 4 hours trying to rank anime. Bungo Stray Dogs? Bungo Stray Dogs is B tier. Bungo's great. I love Bungo Stray Dogs, especially Dazai. Dazai's great. Premiere, I'll give it a B. Premiere's B. It's good. Alright, the Konosuba movie was not as funny as the show, but it was still pretty funny, so I'll put it up there. Demon Slayer Mugen Train, bro, easiest double S of my life. Easiest double S of my life. You might be asking, why would you put Mugen Train higher than... Why would you put Mugen Train higher than Demon Slayer proper? Because it's peak. Dude, Mugen Train, dude, I watched that movie in theaters 5 times. Or no, 4 times. 4 times. I watched it once in sub, once in dub, again in sub normally for a matinee, and then once in 4DX. So I saw it 4 times, which is insane. But it was great. Mugen Train, easiest double S of my life. And then last, but certainly not least, is ReZero. And I'm going to put that gobbledygook right here in the smack middle of B tier. I am not the biggest ReZero fan, but it's all right. I just couldn't get in. I couldn't get into it. I can understand why people would get into it, but I personally could not get into it. So, that being said, that is a tier list of every single anime I've seen. Whoo, mama. That was a lot. 3.5 hours. That's crazy. So, before we leave, I want to give a shout out, and I need to go on the back end and find it, to everyone who's a member right now and everyone who's super chatted. Have you seen bottom tier character Tomozaki-kun? Nope. I am not. I've heard it's good though. Okay, memberships. I think this is all the members. Let me refresh the page just to be sure. Ah, see, it wasn't because it updated. Okay, so for members, I want to shout out all my members in the Mugen Train Rider tier, which is Wiki Silence, Amor, 12321, Spectral TV, Sean Taiga, and that's it. And then in the State Alchemist tier, I got to shout out TC Indiana, Zeke Shine, and John Bass. And then, of course, in Plus Ultra Champion tier, Maximum Effort Max. Thank you guys so much. With those memberships, I think. Let me run some quick maths here. That's not math. That's the clock. All right. So that's that plus. So. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to do that. So just on members alone right now, I'm already halfway to fully funding an entire month of videos. And that is incredible. Because John, no, you don't have to gift memberships. No, I understand you have to pay bills first. That comes first. That's crazy. But yeah, it's incredible because just on memberships alone right now, we're already at Bro. What the frick, dude? TC Indiana with the $5. Here's a little tip for the end of the stream. That was a lot of anime. It was a lot of anime. Thank you for the super chat. That's crazy. But yeah, it's incredible because it's nice because the more the channel Brayden with the 99 cent and is that a sticker? Is that the super stickers? Is that what that is? I've never seen those. I've only seen the super chats, not the stickers. Thank you though. I appreciate it. It's nice because the more the channel makes, the more oh my god. I can't even finish talking what I'm talking about. Amor12321 with a $5 super chat. Well, you've been with me through some rough stuff, so you deserve this. Love you, man. Thanks, man. That means so much. Like I don't even know what to say. Like I'm speechless to the point of like it's all such a blessing because I didn't think this was going to be this successful. And like bro, you got to let me finish talking. Dude, Zeke coming in with a $3 super chat. That was a good stream. Yeah, it's been an incredible stream. And I mean, hold on, let me look at the back end there. Let me refresh that. Dude, no way. Bro, you Amor with a $2 super chat. You're not allowed to speak. Dude. That's $75 in super chats tonight. That in tandem with the members, that's the rest of this year's videos paid for, basically. Like, because I already had October covered as part of my budget beforehand, and that's the rest of this year covered. And that is, you guys are so incredible, and I genuinely, I don't know what to say. It's just such a blessing, because I don't even know what to say, man. It's nice because now I can like move full steam ahead with those projects, knowing that the editing for that is already covered. And like, that was not something I was worried about, because like at the end of the day, even if I couldn't, like, I can afford the editor, because my editor Alex does great work. I love the work he does, and really, honestly, if it weren't for him, this channel probably wouldn't be half as big as it was, because he's the only reason I've been able to have a consistent weekly schedule since May. So for 5 months now, I've had a consistent weekly schedule because he's been able to keep editing videos. And it's just, and Colin has edited a couple videos too. So I can't forget to shout him out. But it's just like, it's incredible, because now I can move full steam ahead and say, okay, those videos are all paid for and covered. Now, yes, I do have to factor in taxes to all that, which kind of sucks, but you know, taxes will knock it down a little bit, but not by much. So, because I only have to pay federal income tax, at least in the state I live in. So that helps. But yeah, I was not expecting all of this, like all of these super chats, all of the, like, dude, $75 in super chats doesn't feel real. Like, I saw that and I was like, there's no way. That can't be real. That can't be real. That's what? That's insane. So it's like, we're just getting started. Like, this isn't even the, like, I don't know. I still have so much more planned for the channel. And like, as it keeps going and bro, what do you mean? Andrew coming in with the $5 super chat. It gotta be even. Is it? Yeah, dude, $80 in super chats. What the heck? It's like, it's so, like, it just doesn't feel real. Like, I never would have thought that this would have happened. And like I was saying, I need, like, as things keep going, I'm gonna keep, like, making the videos better and researching how to make better scripts and better videos and upgrading the quality and like, just as the channel grows, I want the content to exponentially grow with it, so we can look back at like 10,000 subs and be like, here's what the content looked like at 1K, and that was great, but now it looks even better at this big number. So, and I legitimately could not be here without you guys, and you guys are such a blessing, and it's incredible. And I thank God every day for this channel and the opportunity to do this, because not everybody has the opportunity, and I am like blessed with the ability to be able to do what I do here, and I'm so thankful for that every day. And like, it's, I don't know, Silver comment with $2 super chat, bro. This is crazy. And no, dude, what the heck? TC Indiana coming in with a $20 super chat, and then immediately after, Brayden does another $3. Which puts us at $105 in super chats. Dude, that's... Oh, that's more than the rest of the year in terms of coverage. Like, I was sitting here, because YouTube doesn't do a payout until you hit 100. And I was sitting here like, oh my goodness, I'm not gonna, like, I'm gonna be sitting waiting for that payout for forever. And now I'm not. Wow. You guys are crazy. You guys are insane. And you guys, like, I guess that's why you're here, because you're just as crazy as I am. And I guess this is what Deku felt like in My Hero, when like everybody rallies around him just because he was like doing his thing and not like not really with a you know what I mean? Like, he was just kind of helping out everyone in his own way, and then everyone kind of rallied behind him. So that's, dude, that's insane. And God, I know you wish you could do more, but don't financially hurt yourselves for my sake. Like, I'll be okay. You guys have already done way more than enough. And I appreciate it so much. And it's, wow. That's crazy, dude. That's insane. So, well, at almost 4 hours, I'm going to end the stream there. You guys have been insanely incredible tonight. And I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. You guys are crazy. You guys are wild. So, I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys so much. Again, bro, you guys are incredible. I'll see you in the next stream. There might be a bonus stream tomorrow, but you're gonna want Brady. Brayden with the $1.99 super chat. Good night. Yeah, stay tuned to all my socials tomorrow. There may be a bonus stream. It depends on how I'm feeling tomorrow night and if I get everything done that I need to, which I'm going to try to so that we can do the bonus stream, but we'll see. So, that being said, thank you everybody for being here, for all your super chats, your memberships, all the things, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.